ESPN. Here in Western Massachusetts, absolutely perfect weather for the start of college football. New beginnings for two programs as the Temple Owls take on the UMass Minutemen. We welcome you here to Amherst, Massachusetts, McGurk Alumni Stadium. Robert Lee, Patrick Murray with you. Patrick, both these teams have really struggled in recent years, but they both have first-year head coaches with a proven track record of success.
Temple and UMass are committed to getting these football programs turned around. Temple's Casey Keeler has had a lot of success as a head coach. He's the only coach to win FCS national championships at two different schools. He started at Rowan University in Division III, had 5 national runner-up finishes there, then went to his alma mater in Delaware, won the 2003 FCS national title, moved on to Texas and Sam Houston State. He took them to a national championship in 2020. Then they moved up to the FBS level, went 10-3 last year before Keeler moved on to Temple.
Casey Keeler is actually second amongst active FBS coaches in total wins. He's only behind LSU's Brian Kelly, and he's well ahead of Iowa's Kirk Ferentz. On the other side, UMass believes that 39-year-old Joe Harris-Simiak is the right man to lead them into a new conference.
Harris-Simiak spent the last 3 years as the defensive coordinator at Rutgers in the Big Ten. He had a successful stint as the head coach at Maine, led the Black Bears to their deepest playoff run in FCS semifinal in 2018.
And we're set to go here on a beautiful afternoon in Amherst, Massachusetts, the foothills of the Berkshire Mountains. UMass and Temple. Temple won the toss and they deferred. They will go on defense first. UMass will have the ball first. And a lot of excitement in the air here. Good crowd on hand. Temple in the white jerseys. Very similar color schemes today. It's going to challenge us. Both teams with maroon and white as their primary colors. Temple with the white jerseys. UMass in the maroon. The students just moved in over the last couple of days. It was actually quite an operation to get all the cars in and out of here. They have about 20,000 undergrads here, and a lot of them have shown up today to root on the Minutemen.
Couldn't be a better day to start the college football season here in Amherst, Massachusetts. I mean, perfect football weather. Couldn't ask for any more. And this is going to be a fun game between two teams that seem to be very evenly matched on paper, but a lot of unknowns on both sides with a pair of new coaching staffs.
Temperatures in the low 70s, sunshine, a few clouds in the sky, but perfect weather, all things considered, on this Labor Day weekend. Again, Temple in the white jerseys. They will be kicking it away to UMass in the maroon jerseys. Ready to kick it away for Temple. The sophomore kicker, Carl Hardin.
T.Y. Harding, the return man for UMass. He had a punt return touchdown last year. He can be pretty electric if you get him in space.
Now, Hardin has a big leg, so it remains to be seen whether or not Harding will even get a chance to return it. He's at his own 1-yard line. You ready? Let's start some college football, partner.
Let's do it. Let's have some fun.
Hardin puts a boot into it, and the season is underway. He crushes this ball through the end zone for a touchback. And UMass will go on offense first for new head coach Joe Harris-Simiak and a new starting quarterback, fourth-year junior Brandon Rose.
Rose, a transfer from Utah. He has one start in his career. It was last year for the Utes against number 9 BYU. He looked really good in that game, but then tore a ligament in his foot, had to miss the rest of the season. He's a very athletic guy. He can run. They'll use some design quarterback runs with him, and has a big arm as well. He has a great relationship with UMass's new offensive coordinator, Mike Bajakian, who also came over from Utah.
Rose, first snap of the season from the 25. Rocco Griffin, the running back. And it will be a fake handoff. Rose rolls out right. He's got time. He throws, and it's batted down, incomplete. Ty Davis, the outside linebacker, knocked it down for Temple.
Well, those are the kind of things that offensive coordinator Mike Bajakian wants to do with Brandon Rose. Get him out on the move, use his athletic ability. He throws really well on the run. They give him a little run-pass option there, but Temple does a great job covering it up.
3 years at Utah for Rose. He's from Temecula, California, in between Los Angeles and San Diego. He takes the second down snap and hands it off for Griffin. Running right, turns the corner at field 30. Rocco Griffin, 35-40, and submarined at the 42-yard line. A gain of 17 and a UMass first down.
Rocco Griffin, the transfer out of UTSA. He actually led Vanderbilt in rushing in 2021 in the SEC. They really like what he can do. Got a nice block from his teammate. Look for number 2, Jaquan Gibson on the outside here. He gets him a block that lets him turn that corner and pick up the first down.
Tempo here, it's actually a gain of 19. He's out to the 44. Play action, Rose stands in, looking deep, throwing deep. He's got a man, it is incomplete. T.Y. Harding was behind his defender. There is a flag down at the 26-yard line.
Harding had the Temple defense beat right there. Rose just couldn't hit him.
Our referee today is Matt Pikowski.
First down.
Going to go against Temple.
A defensive pass interference on the Owls.
Aggressive start for the offense here for UMass, taking some shots downfield.
I like it. They really like T.Y. Harding's speed and his big playability. They take a shot. You don't complete it, but you get the penalty and move the chains.
Across midfield, Griffin shifts to the right of Rose. Short drop. Almost intercepted as it went past his intended receiver. It was almost picked off by the Owls.
Rose had Gibson wide open right there, sitting between a couple of Temple's own defenders. He just missed the mark.
Tempo offense here from offensive coordinator Mike Bajakian and the Minutemen. First drive of the game just underway here, season opener. And it's a handoff for Griffin. And he is stacked up after a short gain, maybe a yard or two. Totally different teams, and both coaching staffs talk to us about how hard it is to scout this game. Not only all new coaches, but really all new players in the portal era.
It's really difficult. When you talk about UMass, they've got 37 transfers this year. 13 of them are starting. So for these coaching staffs trying to piece together a game plan, it had to be all about what do you do well as a team. You can't do a whole lot of scouting when you've never seen the opposite coaching staff coach these players before.
Sets up a 3rd and long. Stunt up front, Rose has time, throws, it is caught by McConaughey, breaks the tackle, fighting towards the first down marker. He's close, he's about a yard short, it looks like, at the 32, but close enough that they could go for it on 4th and 1.
I think this is a great spot to go for it right here. Fringe field goal range. Rose doing a good job of completing this ball down low. Great catch by McConaughey going up to get it. He fights to try to get that first down. He's going to come up just short. The Minutemen are going to go for it.
McConaughey played 5 years at Pitt, had 1 career catch. It did go for a touchdown. He matches that total on his first drive with UMass. Running up the middle for a first down and submarined inside the 30-yard line. The Minutemen will move the sticks again with Brandon Hood, the backup running back.
A great move in the backfield there by Hood. Temple had a defender right there to make the stop in the backfield. And watch this little juke move that Hood puts on him right there to get out of the way and pick up that first down.
Tackle made by safety Javier Morton. But 1st and 10 for the Minutemen on their initial drive of the game. UMass 2-10 last year. Only wins were against FCS schools, Central Connecticut and Wagner. Blitz coming off the edge. Rose gets it out quickly. It is caught by Jaquan Gibson, picking his way forward, and Gibson's got a first down for UMass inside the 20.
A good recognition there by Brandon Rose, understanding that he's got a guy coming hot off of his right side. He's got to get rid of that ball quickly. He finds his outlet there, Gibson on the screen, and some good blocking downfield. Big 72, Luke Payton at left tackle, getting a nice block there.
Gain of 11 for the Minutemen, moves it into the red zone from the 18-yard line. Rose looking over to the sideline to get the signals on 4 or 5 placards. Exclusively out of the shotgun so far. Play clock running down to 9. Quick slant near side is tipped and incomplete. Lewis Fry almost had the interception.
Fry doing a nice job from the nickel spot. They call it the Viper spot in this defense, coordinated by Smith. And good job on the D-line by Temple, getting a hand up to bat that ball down.
Check that, it was 44, not 14. Alu almost had the interception, number 44. 2nd down, it's a handoff for Griffin. Picks his way up the middle, breaking tackles into the end zone for a touchdown. Rocco Griffin from 18 yards out. UMass takes the lead.
Rocco Griffin, the redshirt junior transfer from UTSA. Getting the Minutemen on the board early. Nice little cutback there. Good vision to see the lane. And then the strength, the contact balance to fight through that tackle and get it in the end zone.
I think when Joe Harris-Simiak went to bed last night, that's how he drew it up. It doesn't get much better than that. Driving down the field for a touchdown in the first game of the season, first drive. On for the extra point, Derek Morris, a transfer from Cal. Kick is up and good. UMass impressive on its first drive of the game. Rocco Griffin from 18 yards out, and they take a 7-0 lead with under 11 and a half minutes left to go here in the first quarter.
Griffin running hard behind his own line. Get off feet. Get into the end zone. Minutemen up early.
You're looking at new UMass head coach Joe Harris-Simiak, 39 years old, one of the rising stars in this profession, had a great run at Maine back from 2016 to 18. As Patrick mentioned earlier, took them to the FCS semis. He actually played his college ball just down the road about half an hour at Springfield College, graduated in 2008. He's the school's all-time record holder with 17 interceptions. And when we asked him about it, he said, I was a guy who had a lot of zone principles, saying he couldn't cover guys man-to-man. He said he got most of those 17 through preparation.
Yeah, he said he was a film guy. He was going to know what the offense was going to do beforehand and be able to jump some routes. But that's pretty impressive, 17 picks in a career. And Harris-Simiak, his mantra is BOS, belief, ownership, sacrifice. That's what he's teaching his players as he gets set to start this new season with the Minutemen.
How much does scoring a touchdown on the first drive increase that belief?
That definitely helps the belief. I mean, everything you've been working on the whole offseason, you're like, all right, this stuff is paying off. We can do this.
UMass will kick it away with Marcus Lai. And his kick will be taken at the goal line, actually at about the 4 by Tyler Stewart. And a good return. There is a flag down at about the 20-yard line. Stewart is tackled close to the 30. And so there was a question coming into the game about who would start at quarterback for Temple. It's been kind of the hot topic around Temple football. Either 6th-year senior Evan Simon or 5th-year senior transfer Giovanni McCoy.
Third return, holding, return team, number 14. 10-yard penalty from the spot of foul. First down.
So Simon started 9 games for the team last year at Temple. He started his career at Rutgers. McCoy comes in from Oregon State, but started his career with a tremendous run at Idaho. And it will be Simon, number 6, who will start the game, but they should both play.
We expect to see Giovanni McCoy at some point. Evan Simon getting the start, former Rutgers Scarlet Knight. You see what he did last year against Utah State, 5 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. He can be really good when he's on.
First snap of the season for Temple on offense, and it's a run up the middle for Jay Ducker. He takes it out past the 15. Simon is a 6th-year senior from Mount Joy, Pennsylvania. It's about 30 miles southeast of Harrisburg. He's in his 2nd year with the program. Last year, 59% completion percentage, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Also ran for 3 touchdowns, but not the running threat that McCoy is. And it's a 2nd consecutive handoff, and it will come up short of the first. Oh, very close. Got to the 20. I think that could be enough, actually, with that 2nd effort by Jay Ducker, who played at Sam Houston last year for head coach Casey Keeler and ran for 745 yards and 7 touchdowns.
And with new offensive coordinator Tyler Walker coming in from Montana State, the FCS level, this is what they want to do, is run the football. He led the country in scoring last year at the FCS level, his offense did, and they did it by running the football. They expect to do that here at Temple.
Had a tremendous quarterback, Tommy Malott, at Montana State. It's another handoff for Ducker, and this time a short gain of about 3. Ducker, a 5th-year senior on his 4th school, started his career at NIU, Northern Illinois. He was actually the MAC Rookie of the Freshman of the Year back in 2021, ran for almost 1,200 yards. Then a couple of years at Memphis, and last year at Sam Houston. He was the only player who followed Coach Keeler from Sam Houston here to Temple, and Coach said, you know what, if there's only one guy, he better fit the model. He can't be a knucklehead.
Yeah, Ducker is one of those guys that you can trust, you can rely upon to tote the rock every down.
In motion, highly regarded freshman Ryder Kush. But it's another handoff for Ducker. 4 in a row to start the game, and they'll set up a 3rd down.
Now, this is what Casey Keeler envisioned when he brought in Tyler Walker. I mean, last year at Montana State, they had 3 1,000-yard rushers, and Keeler early in his career was a guy that liked to throw the ball all over the place, but he has evolved as a head coach and become a guy that wants to run the football and play tough defense.
One of UMass's key defenders, Zeron Daniel, is the injured player. He is their starting safety. A junior from Brooklyn, a transfer from Georgetown. And really one of the key linchpins to this defense. He's injured on the play.
Daniel is one of the guys in the secondary that's going to make the checks and get them all lined up, which is important today.
Daniel had 5 interceptions at Georgetown last year. He is up on his feet. And we'll step aside. 9:20 left to go first quarter. UMass with a 1-touchdown lead. UMass has an early 7-0 lead over Temple. 3rd down and 4 coming up for Temple, which has run the ball on all 4 plays it's had so far.
I think we see Temple put it in the air here, and you got to keep an eye on Colin Chase, number 1, and JoJo Bermudez, number 17, at wide receiver. Those are the guys that they really want to manufacture touches for today, get them in one-on-one matchups in open space, and a key down here at 3rd and 4, look for those guys to be involved.
UMass took the opening kickoff, went 9 plays, 75 yards in about 3.5 minutes. Rocco Griffin, 18-yard touchdown run to get the scoring started. Evan Simon does get the start at quarterback. We should see Giovanni McCoy along the way for Temple as well, as they said they were going to play both of them. We have no reason not to believe them, but here it is, Simon on 3rd down and 4. Empty backfield. Throws into the flat. It is caught for a 1st down by Bermudez out past the 30, a gain of 7.
JoJo Bermudez, transfer from Delaware. He's shifty in open space, had to overcome an injury last year, but he's one of the guys that Temple's going to rely upon. They love his playmaking ability in the slot, and he's the guy that they trusted there on that 3rd and short to move the sticks.
Tempo for Temple. They throw out of backfield for Ducker to the 35. Ridden out of bounds by Timmy Heinz-Peter, linebacker transfer from Rutgers.
Heinz-Peter following Joe Harasimiak, his head coach from Rutgers. Harasimiak was the defensive coordinator there. He brought over one of his assistants in Kite to be the defensive coordinator. He brought him with him from Rutgers, and this is a defense. It's going to be 4 down. They play a lot of zone coverage, quarters coverage, mix in some man.
Heinz-Peter is the quote-unquote green dot. He is the player that the defensive coordinator can communicate with through the helmet. Running the jet sweep right is Colin Chase. And Submarine with a nice open field tackle after a short gain by Jeremiah McGill.
This is what Temple wants to do on offense this year, is run a lot of their base plays out of many different looks. Trying to confuse the defense. A nice block there by Jay Ducker, but a good form tackle by McGill, and that's something that is key, especially in these first week games. How well do you tackle when you haven't hit a whole lot in off-season camp?
Both defensive coordinators talked about their concern with missing tackles. They want to swarm to the ball. 3rd down and medium, and it's a juggling catch by Bermudez, and he steps out of bounds right at about midfield, as once again Bermudez a 3rd down catch for a 1st down.
Yeah, early on, Bermudez is the go-to guy for Temple when they need to move the chains, working out of the slot. He's quick. That quickness can allow him to separate and get open in the short area of the field, and Simon makes a good, accurate throw to him, give him the chance to make a play and move the chains.
Bermudez started his career at Cincinnati, last 2 years at Delaware, 25 catches and a touchdown last season. It's a handoff to Simon. He immediately throws to Bermudez again for a 1st down. So they had both the quarterbacks in. I know you were looking for that.
I was excited. I was waiting to see that. Giovanni McCoy gets in the game there, takes the snap at quarterback, and he's got Evan Simon, the other quarterback, next to him, hands it off, and then he's got a run-pass option on the outside. The defense comes up to play the run. Bermudez is wide open to move the chains. That's the kind of wrinkle that Tyler Walker brings with him. Some special formations that he ran at Montana State.
So they had 2 quarterbacks in there. McCoy goes out here. Simon in the pistol set. And running right into the open field is Jay Ducker, spinning his way forward inside the 25 for another Temple 1st down.
Nice job up front by the Temple O-line to get Ducker into space, and then JoJo Bermudez too, getting him a block on the outside. Look for 17 on the right side of the screen. He's gonna get that block, give him a couple extra yards, and a nice spin move to pick up 5 more.
18-yard gain for Ducker. He's over 2,500 yards in his career. So Temple moving the ball smartly here on its first possession of the game, under 6 minutes to go in the 1st quarter. It's Ducker again, and this time stopped at the line of scrimmage by a host of UMass defenders, maybe gained a yard on the play.
That's what defensive coordinator Jared Kite was talking to us about before the game. He wants his guys swarming to the football. They had 3 or 4 guys right on the ball carrier that time. That's what they're looking for.
Temple also struggled last season, 3-9, 3 wins all at home over Utah State, Tulsa, and FAU. They went 2-6 in the American. And they were 0-6 on the road, which continued a trend that we'll talk about in a bit. Back to pass, Simon, all sorts of time, throws down the middle, caught for the touchdown! 21 yards to Peter Clark, and it's 7-6.
Well, Peter Clark at tight end, at his size, 6'6", 265, they get him matched up on a 195-pound safety in McGill, and Clark just gets physical with him at the top of that route. You see McGill on the ground. Simon's able to put it on him, and Clark makes a nice athletic play, reaching that right hand out there to snag it for the touchdown.
4th touchdown of Peter Clark's career. He hails from London, England, and a chance for Carl Harden to tie the game. And he will.
Clark has 6 catches in his career. 4 of them have been touchdowns. Pretty good for a guy who says he learned how to play football from YouTube back in England.
Who says you can't learn anything from YouTube?
You can learn a ton from YouTube. Nice ball from Simon. Nice grab by Clark. We're all tied up at 7.
New head coach K.C. Keeler has to be happy with the way Temple responds. 12-play, 90-yard touchdown drive.
That was a nice one. It got off to a slow start, but then they get it going. Evan Simon, 5 for 5 for 52 and a score on the drive, hooking up with JoJo Bermudez for a couple of third down conversions, and then they went to the ground. And Jay Ducker with a nice 18-yard gain to move the chains, and that set things up for Temple. Near the red zone, Simon hooks up with his tight end, Peter Clark, for the score to tie it at 7.
The kickoff was a touchback. It went all the way through the end zone again from Carl Harden. So UMass will go on offense for the second time. They scored a touchdown on their first drive. Brandon Rose back out there. It's early on, it's the first quarter. Both teams feeling each other out a little bit. I think it's hard to overstate how important this game is for both teams, though. They've both been struggling in recent years. Both teams are playing an FCS school next week. no guarantees, but they both have a chance with a win today to get off to a great start.
Yeah, this is important for a pair of teams with new head coaches. You want to get off on the right foot and build some momentum into the season.
Rose takes the snap, kind of awkward start there, maybe a false start on the offense. Matt Pakowski, our referee today.
False start. Offense. Everyone but the center. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Be more like the center.
That's always a good one. Everyone but the center. Usually that means the center made the mistake, and he didn't snap it on time.
He's like, look, guys, everyone messed up except me. Benjamin Roy Jr., the center. So 1st and 15 now. Rose 2 out of 5 on that first drive. Pressure's on. Gets away from Chroma, looking to run. And taken out of bounds after gain of about 3. Rose has mobility. You mentioned that game he played against BYU, really the only game he's ever played in his career. He ran for 55 yards in that game.
Rose was looking to take a shot deep down the sideline on his right side there, but Jalen Castleberry, a corner for Temple, did a really nice job in one-on-one coverage, taking away that go route and forcing Rose to have to tuck it and run.
Ty Davis ended up pushing him out of bounds after the rush by Sekou Chroma. Clock running with 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Play clock down to 2. Rose, no drop, throws over the middle for a short gain. There's so much of the talk about the transfer portal, and as the buzzword is on players from quote-unquote lower levels going to higher levels. The higher level picking the smaller school kids and paying them a lot and getting them up to the bigger level. But then you've got guys like Brandon Rose, who didn't get much of a chance at Utah. Coach Harasimiak said this is his shot to come here and play and show what he can do.
That's been one of the biggest things in the transfer portal. It's just opportunity for guys, getting second chances, sometimes third chances. And Rose felt like he should still be the starting quarterback at Utah, but they brought in Devin Dampier from New Mexico as a transfer to be their starter. He was a little salty about that, but now here's his chance to prove himself at the FBS level as a starter.
And he's going to get a lot of playing time and a chance to show what he can do. He throws off his back foot. It's caught by T.Y. Harding, breaks a tackle for a first down out past the 35. Good second effort by T.Y. Harding to move the sticks.
You see there the ability in the open field for T.Y. Harding. Just get him the football, let him go to work. At 334 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns last year at UMass, looking to top that this year.
4th-year junior from Cambridge, Mass, Boston area. It's a short run up the middle. That time it was Jawan Price on the carry.
And you got one more look at that previous play. When you get the ball to Harding, nice little spin move there. And he is slippery, tough to tackle. You got to get 2 or 3 guys to the football.
Final 3 minutes of a quickly moving first quarter. Game tied at 7. Throw into the flat is caught by Gibson. Breaks a tackle, sheds another man. He's in the open field. Gibson in a foot race to the 30. Stutter stepping out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. Biggest play of the game so far.
What an individual effort there by Jaquan Gibson. Offensive coordinator Mike Kajakian says he plays bigger than he looks. I'd say so. Look at this. After the spin move, the stiff arm with authority, and then the speed up the sideline to pick up a big chunk play.
39 yards for Gibson, matches his career long. Throw into the corner for Gibson, and a little bit too far, incomplete on first down.
And 2 of the biggest keys that head coach Joe Harasimiak told us coming into this game he felt like were turnovers and explosive plays. And those are always the keys in any college football game. Those are the 2 biggest indicators of who's going to win the game. If you can get an explosive play like that, that certainly helps your chances of getting in the end zone.
Jaquan Gibson will get a quick breather, a 4th-year junior from Fayetteville, North Carolina. 270 yards receiving and a touchdown last year. It'll be a handoff for Griffin, picking his way forward nicely for a solid gain to the 16.
UMass running a counter play, gap scheme play there. Big 72 at left tackle. Luke Payton getting up on a linebacker with a nice block there for Griffin to pick up a nice gain and make it a manageable 3rd down here.
3rd and 5. And again, there was a time where in football, if you didn't get this, it was just assumed you were going to kick a field goal. But that is not the game that's being played now. So we'll see what happens if they don't get it here on 3rd and 5. Now it's going to be 3rd and 10. Coach Harasimiak told us the keys, you mentioned them, turnovers.
False start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Explosive plays and penalties. Couple false starts on this drive.
And that's focus right there. Those pre-snap penalties are about focus. A couple of guys didn't have the snap count down, and Rose clapped one time. They were trying to go with the hard count, try to get the defense to jump, but a couple offensive linemen jumped, and it cost them 5 yards.
So that'll back it up to 3rd and 10 from the 22. They spread the formation with 5 receivers. Rose alone in the backfield. Temple rushes 3. Rose throws into the near corner from McConaughey. Through his hands, incomplete. Good coverage on the play by Ben Osweke, a senior cornerback.
Well, not a bad idea to go for the 6'5 receiver in McConaughey, give him a chance to make a play, but Osweke did a great job there of being physical, using the sideline as an extra teammate and pushing McConaughey to the edge there.
So they will try a field goal with new kicker Derek Morris. At Cal last year, he was 11 out of 15. This will be a 40-yard attempt. Out of the hold of Keegan Andrews. Not a lot of wind today. The kick is up. The kick is tailing to the right, but it is good. 40-yard field goal for Derek Morris, and UMass takes a 10-7 lead.
UMass looking pretty good offensively to start the game, averaging just over 7 yards of play. They get the big explosive. The Jaquan Gibson, the 39-yarder, that sets him up to take the lead on that field goal.
Joe Harasimiak has to be happy with the way his offense has played so far. 9-play, 53-yard drive, took almost 4 minutes. We asked Joe Harasimiak, he's only 39, but he's been coaching a while. Do you still get the jitters? He said, 100%. That's why I stayed in the game after I finished playing. We said he was down the road at Springfield. He was student teaching his senior year of college. He said none of the kids would listen to him. Nobody listened to him, and he said, I just can't do this. So he got into coaching. It's worked out pretty well for him.
And it's funny because Casey Keeler had somewhat of a similar story into how he got into coaching, because he said when he was done playing, he tried so hard to be an NFL player, couldn't stick with the team. He went and he got himself a job in New York City selling paper products. And when he came home and told his wife he got the job, she said he was physically ill. And his wife told him, you can't do this. You got to coach football.
Paper salesman like Dwight Schrute at Dunder Mifflin. Running it up the middle is Tyler Stewart on the return, just shy of the 25-yard line. And so, all offense so far in this game. 3 drives, 3 scores, 2 touchdowns, and a field goal. And this one will be the 23-yard line. And let's see who comes out at quarterback for Temple. Certainly they had good results with Simon in that first drive, and he will come out for the second drive.
It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, because it's been a battle back and forth throughout the off-season camp. They've really pushed each other, McCoy and Simon. They've made each other better. McCoy is maybe the guy with more explosive big play potential, but Simon is the more steady, accurate passer.
In motion, Bermudez. This is a handoff. Running over the left side, maybe back to the line of scrimmage for Therese Worthy, the backup running back to Ducker. Worthy had a good year last year, led Temple with 425 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns.
And this is a deep running back room for Temple. They've got 4 guys that are veterans that they really believe in. Ducker, Worthy, Joquez Smith, we expect to see him at some point, and Hunter Smith, who's a 5th-year transfer from Louisiana Monroe.
Final 40 seconds of the first quarter, empty backfield. Simon throws into the flat, incomplete, intended for Kush, the highly regarded freshman tight end.
Yeah, they get the tight end out on the perimeter that time to try to create a matchup, and they've got him against a smaller nickel in Malcolm Green, and they just couldn't connect.
One of the keys to that first drive for Temple, 12 plays, 90 yards. They converted both of their third downs on completions to Bermudez. This will be a tougher one, 3rd and 10.
Bermudez is in the slot at the top of the screen.
Simon steps up in the pocket. He's going to be sacked. He is sacked. Maybe no gain on the play, but Temple will be forced to punt.
And to me, that's a coverage sack. A nice job in the back end by UMass playing zone coverage. They had a safety over the top of Bermudez. Simon's looking his way. It's not there. He tries to tuck it and run, but then the defense collapses on him, and they make the stop. Good job. Yeah, Sean Bray Jackson making the stop there.
That will be the end of the first quarter. Entertaining first quarter from Amherst. UMass 10 and Temple 7. First-year head coaches looking to turn these programs around, and both off to a decent start here through 15 minutes. 10-7 UMass with the lead. All offense so far, but Temple will be forced to punt when we return. Second quarter action is coming up. Casey Keeler's Temple Owls trail UMass 10-7. We mentioned Temple lost all 6 of their road games last year. They actually haven't won a road game since September of 2021 when they beat Akron. 20 in a row they've lost. That's the longest streak in the country. We're trying to end that here today, down 10-7 after the first quarter. On to punt it away, Dante Atten. And Aussie for Temple, back deep to receive T.Y. Harding. Dangerous return man for UMass at the 30-yard line. Atten, rugby-style kick is a good one, sidewinding, and Harding makes the fair catch at the 35. On the other side, UMass has a losing streak of its own. They have the 3rd longest active losing streak against FBS teams. We mentioned they won 2 games last year. They're both over FCS schools. Kent State, Southern Miss, and now UMass. But UMass has a new head coach, Joe Harrisimiak. They're in a conference. They finally got out of the wilderness of being independent for the last 9 years, and they've made a substantial commitment to winning football.
Athletic Director Ryan Bamford has really done a nice job of setting up Harrisimiak for success. He gave him a great coaching pool, for the money pool for the assistant coaches, was able to hire a great staff. It was the top assistant pool in the MAC, and they had a lot of money to spend in the transfer portal as well in the NIL. So UMass is really committed to turning this football program around.
UMass went to FBS back in 2012. This is their 14th season. They've never had a record better than 4-8. Back to pass, Rose throws into the flat, on a line, caught by Harding, and a good open field tackle made right there at the 40-yard line by Avery Powell, the strong safety.
And that is so key in a first week game, to be able to secure those tackles in the open field, especially against a guy like Harding, who's so slippery. And this is not like back when KC Keeler played for Delaware in the 70s, when you were doing two-a-days in the offseason and hitting every practice. They don't hit nearly as much in the offseason now, so you got to get used to game speed quickly.
Rose keeps and is swallowed up on an outstanding play by the defender Cameron Stewart from his defensive end position.
Stewart is a guy that they really like as a pass rusher when they get in those third down, like they are now in the third long situations. Stewart flying off the edge and doing a good job of playing the quarterback there and reading that mesh point, seeing what Rose is doing and making the tackle.
Played at UMass last year, only played in 6 games, was injured halfway through the year. Started his career, as so many of these players did, at Rutgers. Back to pass, pressure off the edge, Rose throws, he's got it for a first down. And twisting his way forward is Gibson past the 45, and UMass will move the sticks again. Gibson playing well, and Rose looking comfortable in the backfield.
Temple brought the heat right there, and the UMass O-line did a nice job of picking up that blitz, protecting Rose, gets the ball out quick, and Gibson makes a nice grab right at the sticks. And these guys are looking pretty good. Rose is looking poised in the pocket, and the UMass offense has been balanced and moving the football.
Griffin to Rose's left. Griffin will get the handoff. And wrapped up. I think they wanted a face mask call from the near sideline. They were not going to get it. It'll be a gain of about a yard.
Rocco Griffin there at running back for UMass. He's a really smart guy, knows everything about this offense, and Mike Pajakian, the offensive coordinator, said he could ask a wide receiver a question in practice, and Griffin is yelling out the answer. He understands everything.
He and Jaquan Gibson, the 2 captains from the offense. Gibson goes in motion. Fake the handoff to him. Rose running the sweep right. Gets blocking. Rose on his feet and hurdles over a man for a first down to the 42. The ball's loose. Temple's going back the other way. They haven't blown it dead. It's Avery Powell. And he's tackled at about the 41. They did not blow the play dead, and for now it appears Temple has caused a turnover.
We're going to have to check that one. It looked like Rose got flipped up into the air. We'll take a good look here.
Oh, he fumbled the ball.
Yeah, that ball was out.
He absolutely fumbled the ball. It's picked up by Johnny on the spot. Avery Powell, who didn't quit on the play. It should be a turnover.
And Caden Supernot doing a good job coming from behind to make that extra hit on Rose. I think he got the left hand in there and poked that football out. And great awareness by Powell to see it on the ground, scoop it up.
That first angle we had from the sideline saw that the ball was out of his arms before his elbow hit the ground. So a turnover, Brandon Rose turns it over, and Temple causes the first turnover of the game. They have it in plus territory. Take one more look at it.
And Supernot, look at the left hand coming in, and actually I don't know if he touched it or not, but as Rose is going down, yeah, I'd say he did touch it. Supernot swiping that left hand in there, knocking the football out just before Rose goes to the ground. Another angle for you here. Pokes it out. Temple's in business here. They need a score.
From the 41, Evan Simon fakes the run, throws over the middle, and it's tipped. Oh, could have been a touchdown, as they had a running back running through the secondary all alone, but tipped at the line.
And this is an offense where they like to give you a lot of different looks, a lot of different run-pass options, and you make it look like it's going to be a quarterback run up the middle, and Simon can read the middle of the field. Take a look at the linebackers. If they suck up towards the line of scrimmage, he can just drop back and flip it, but good job getting the hands up on the line of scrimmage there by the Minutemen.
Mason was the intended receiver, number 26, a freshman. Bermudez in motion. Misdirection. Throw into the flat, and it is caught. Beautiful throw and catch. JoJo Bermudez on the receiving end.
Yeah, Simon and Bermudez look like they've got a pretty good connection going here early on in the ball game, and Simon looking pretty athletic, throwing on the move there.
Gain of 18.
You give him a little read at the line of scrimmage, get him out on the move, get a couple of guys right in front of him. And a nice catch by Bermudez after using his speed to create some separation.
Approaching the red zone here early in the second quarter. Play action. All sorts of time for Simon. Throws into the end zone. Caught for the touchdown. Kajaya Holloway from 24 yards out, and Temple takes the lead.
And that's the way to do it. You get a turnover and you answer right away with a quick score. Evan Simon with all day. Nice blocking by the O-line. Perfect ball right in the breadbasket to Holloway, who came all the way across the field on an over route. Not bad coverage there from Green, but a better throw by Simon for the score.
Put it on the money to Kajaya Holloway, a fifth-year senior from east of Los Angeles. Second year with the Temple program. On for the extra point, Carl Harden. Kick is up and good. Quick strike, 3 plays, 41 yards, only took 40 seconds, 24 yards to Holloway.
Evan Simon, his second touchdown toss of the day. He is looking good, right on the money to give the Owls the lead. Take another look at the touchdown. Temple gets man coverage. Here's Kajaya Holloway. Kajaya Holloway is at the bottom of the screen here. He's coming on an over route. They get a couple of crossing routes. And then Evan Simon is reading this safety. This safety right here as he drops back to the middle of the field. He follows this crossing route. So let's go ahead and watch what happens. As Simon recognizes that he's got man coverage. Simon recognizes that he's got man coverage. He reads that safety in the middle of the field. He sees him run with the other crossing route, so he's going to throw it to Holloway in the end zone. Great throw, great read by Evan Simon to give Temple the lead.
24-yard reception from Holloway. And Temple takes a 14-10 lead. Fair catch called for and made. They'll take it out to the 25-yard line. Quick strike there for Temple after the turnover. 3 plays, 41 yards. We talked about UMass's struggles. Temple has struggled as well. They have had 5 straight losing seasons. The last 4 years, 3 and 9. All 4 of those years, they haven't had a winning season since 2019. But Casey Keeler said this program can be good. Back in the mid-2010s, under Matt Rule and Jeff Collins, they had a 5-year stretch where they were 43 and 24. They were good. They had people coming to the games. They made a bowl game 5 years in a row. He knows that if they can get the recruiting right, that this program is a sleeping giant.
Absolutely. I mean, Temple won the American in 2016. You go back to 2015, they were 7-0. They had College game day in Philly when Notre Dame came to town. This is a program that has potential, and Keeler's plan is to recruit the footprint, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, the D.C. area. That's how he wants to be successful.
Throw into the near side for Gibson, makes the catch and is tackled immediately. Good coverage there by Temple after a gain of 3. And again, Temple plays at Lincoln Financial Field, the home of the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. This is a huge recruiting tool. It's a big-time facility, obviously, and it's really, he talked about the number of recruits they had on campus and the kind of atmosphere they've built there, the culture they've built, and how many of those recruits ended up committed. Good play here for UMass, run after the catch. Out for a first down close to the 40.
A nice read there by Brandon Rose. Temple brought a blitz off the left edge. So UMass had numbers to the perimeter. Rose just goes ahead and flips it out there. Makes the good read. Flips it to Harding. He's got blocking in front of him and a nice block from Gray. And he's able to get to the outside and pick up the first down.
Gain of 10, moves it out to the 39-yard line. Rose back to pass. All sorts of time. Throws far side. It is caught. And diving ahead for the first down is Jaquan Gibson, close to midfield. A gain of 11.
Yeah, Brandon Rose has looked real smooth and poised today for UMass. A nice anticipation throw by him there. On that comeback route, he's got the ball out before Gibson even turns around. Great timing.
It's been all Harding and Gibson pretty much on the receiving end of those passes. This will be a running play up the middle for a solid gain on first down. So Rocco Griffin picks up about 7.
This has been a fun game so far. I mean, both of these offenses have been moving the football and going back and forth. We've had some explosive plays.
The difference in the game right now, the UMass fumble that Temple immediately converted into a touchdown. UMass did receive the opening kickoff. Griffin, big hole. Rocco Griffin, one man to beat. He beats him. He's to the 20. He's to the 10, and he is driven out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
A great job by the left side of the offensive line for the Minutemen right there. Luke Payton, Sullivan Weidman, look at the left side, that double team, just pushing everybody back. That opens a huge hole for Griffin, and he does the rest with that contact balance to break that tackle and pick up another huge chunk.
Takes it down to the 3-yard line after a 41-yard run by Griffin. Good job by Castleberry, hustling and saving the touchdown. But first and goal from the 3. Handoff Griffin, and driven down from behind after a yard. There is an injured Temple player. It appears to be cornerback Jalen Castleberry. We'll step aside as they tend to Castleberry, a 5th-year senior from Cleveland. 14-10, Temple with the lead. UMass knocking on the door. So many terrific football alumni from both of these programs. Liam Cohen is the greatest quarterback in UMass history. He left school as the school's all-time leader in yards, over 11,000, as well as 90 touchdowns. He led them to the 1AA or FCS title game back in 2006. He then went on to be an assistant coach at UMass from 2014 to 15. And if you're saying that name sounds familiar, well, he's the first-year head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars in the NFL, ready to start his career next Sunday. He was actually, his first offensive coordinator job was actually under Joe Harasimiak at Maine. Coach H said he met Liam Cohen at the UMass football camps when Cohen was coaching here.
You got to give Coach Harasimiak some credit. He saw the talent, right? He saw what Liam Cohen could do, gave him that first offensive coordinator job. And what a job Liam Cohen did last year with the Bucs as the offensive coordinator. Really helped Baker Mayfield resurrect his career. And I'm excited to see what he can do with Trevor Lawrence there in Jacksonville.
Let's talk 6 degrees of Temple and UMass football. When he was with the Bucs, the head coach, Todd Bowles, Temple class of '85. It all comes full circle there. Robert Lee, Patrick Murray, our entire terrific ESPN crew with you from Amherst, Massachusetts. Where's Amherst, Massachusetts? It's about half an hour north of Springfield and 2 hours west of Boston. It's in the foothills of the beautiful Berkshire Mountains. McGurk Alumni Stadium holds about 17,000. Good crowd here today. They're ready to cheer for the Minutemen, who have it 2nd and goal from the 3. Castleberry was helped off the field.
Well, the Minutemen offensive line did a great job of blocking for the run game to get him down here. Let's see if they can get him in the end zone.
Under center this time for the first time in the game. Play action. Rolls out right. He's pressured and he'll throw it away. It'll be 3rd down. Good pressure there. By Curly Ordonez from his linebacker position.
And good coverage by Temple. They were trying to hit their running back Griffin in the flat, but Temple covered it up well, and a smart play by Rose to just throw it away and get another opportunity on 3rd down to try to punch it in.
There's another injured Temple defender. Can't quite see his number from here. Number 8, Alan Hay, a defensive tackle. It's also something you see a lot of in the first week. There hasn't been, like you said, there hasn't been a lot of tackling, live contact in training camp. You hope that's nothing too serious for Hay.
Yeah, in training camp, you're looking to prevent injuries as much as you possibly can. You don't want guys landing on their teammates' ankles and things like that, and those are the things that happen, especially down there at the goal line when you've got so many big bodies jammed up together. Everybody's pushing each other around. Somebody can fall on your leg or something like that, and they got to check them out and make sure everything's all good.
Alan Hay, a 5th-year senior from Margate, Florida, near Fort Lauderdale, your neck of the woods, started his career at Miami, and he is walking off the field, which is good to see.
Well, 3rd down here, 3rd and goal for UMass. They tried the ground on 1st down, couldn't punch it in, tried to go to the air, get Brandon Rose out on the perimeter on 2nd down. Temple covered that up. Let's see what they call here on 3rd down. Might be a good time to try to get the tight ends involved, get a little play action going, see if you can slip a tight end out to the back line there.
Is it tougher in some ways down here so close to the goal line because there's just not as much space?
Exactly, and it does get tougher for the offense because it really pares down your playbook. You don't have the deep part of the field to work with, so you got to get creative with your play calling.
They'll go with a jumbo set here. Griffin, the deep back in the I formation. All tight ends, no receivers. Handed off for Griffin, up the middle, and stopped short of the goal line. Temple's defense stops him at the 2. And decision time here for UMass. 4th down. They're going to go for it.
I like that call. Stay aggressive. UMass did it on their first drive of the game. Went forward on 4th and 1, picked it up, ended up getting in the end zone. And when you coach aggressive, your players are going to play aggressive. And that often works out better for you in the end.
1 for 1 on 4th down today. Jawan Price, the running back. They spread the formation. Rolls out to the right. He has some time. Rose could run for it. Flag down. Rose diving for the end zone. Stop short at the half-yard line. There is a flag down.
I think it's going to be holding on the offense in the backfield.
And if it is, it would be declined and give Temple the ball.
It's the runner was short of the goal line. Personal foul, face mask, offense, number 55. That penalty is declined. Result is going to be a first down, Temple.
A turnover on downs as Temple makes a goal line stand when UMass had it first and goal from the 3.
You get another look, you see the penalty in the middle. On the right side, actually, there, the center, Benjamin Roy, just reaching out to try to get in the way of a defender there, pulls his face mask. That's where the flag comes from, and a good job by Temple to swarm to the football, make that stop just short of the line of scrimmage. And how about that defensive line for the Owls being able to make that stand? UMass had it at the 3-yard line.
That's not only a 6-point stand, it's definitely a 3-point stand, because if he scores there, they would then accept the penalty and force a field goal try. Instead, they allow 0 points, but they are backed up inside their own 1-yard line. Temple on offense with Evan Simon under center, Ducker the running back. It's Ducker, big hole up the middle. Could this be Jay Ducker in a foot race? I was thinking 99.5 yards might be possible. It's a huge gain across midfield.
Oh, what a play from Temple. I mean, you're backed up at your 1-yard line. Somebody's got to make a big block, and Grayson Maines did it at the center spot. Look right up the middle. Grayson Maines climbing up to the second level, getting that block. Eric King with a nice one, too. And the Ducker has just got all kinds of space. But UMass is able to run him down. Jeremiah McGill from his safety spot had the speed to prevent the touchdown.
55 yards. It could have been the longest play in Temple scrimmage history. I mean, it would have been 99 yards and 2 feet. Regardless, it's a 55-yard gain for Ducker, who does have an 86-yard run last year. This time a shorter carry to the 41.
Well, talk about flipping the field. I mean, that's it right there. Temple's backed up. You need an explosive play to give you some breathing room. They get it.
Ducker up to 93 yards now. Closing in on 100 already here in the first half, past the midway point of the second quarter. Play action, throw to a wide open man. Peter Clark, who has a touchdown already. Peter Clark, first down, spinning his way forward inside the 30. Gain of 12.
A lot of options for Evan Simon in this offense. Does a good job there of reading the defensive line for UMass. Sees them crashing down, looking to play the run. So he pulls that ball and just flips it out to the perimeter, and Clark's got all kinds of space.
Temple moving the ball smartly here with 6 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Fresh set of downs. They started this drive from their own 1-foot line. Bermudez in motion. Play action. Simon will throw it out of bounds. Second down.
He had Bermudez for about a second if he had been able to get rid of that ball quickly. But UMass got over there to cover him up, and Simon just has to throw it away.
Coach Keeler lauded Simon for his leadership and the way he welcomed in Giovanni McCoy, his rival in the quarterback competition. Said he's helping McCoy with his footwork. The first practice they're together. He's really been a consummate leader. He said if McCoy went out and threw the game-winning touchdown, Simon would be out there to high-five him.
Yeah, Simon is just a great kid. He even slept in the football facility during preseason camp, wanted to get in as much work, as much film study as possible.
And he hasn't given them any reason to take him out so far. He stands in, he throws down the middle, wide open. Peter Clark makes the grab for a touchdown. 29 yards, his second of the game, 20-10.
The big tight end from London, England, Peter Clark, having himself a day. He was wide open down the seam. And UMass was playing zone coverage, 3 deep defenders. Simon knew that one of his receivers on that side was going to be open, finds the tight end Clark, who makes a really nice catch, extending the arms over the head for his second score of the day.
That's a big target out there, 6'6", 265. Carl Harden on for his third extra point try. Kick is up, it's good. Took 2 minutes, 8 seconds, a 5-play, 99.5 yard drive for Temple, extends the lead to 11.
Another look at the Temple touchdown. Watch how the defense gets sucked up by the play action, and then they're going to send the tight end Peter Clark right up the seam. UMass has 2 defenders deep, but they've got 2 deep routes. And Evan Simon's able to read this out pretty well. You get Clark right up the seam. The safety can't get over there in time to play him. Good ball from Simon. And Clark gets his 2nd touchdown of the day to extend the lead to 21-10.
So Temple will kick it away. 5-play, 99. Let's give them 99.5. I mean, they're at about the 1 foot line there. Regardless, they take it the length of the field. The big play, the 55-yard run by Ducker from the goal line. But KC Keeler has to be thrown away. His team has responded, fell behind 7-0. Cost a turnover, had a goal line stand. UMass actually has not punted in this game, but still down by 11. Carl Harden to kick it away. Crushes this one, and it's going to be, out of bounds. Out of bounds. It went into the end zone, but out of bounds. It'll be a penalty. So Patrick, UMass has moved the ball on offense. What's the messaging here?
You got to keep doing what you're doing, and it just comes down to finishing drives. I mean, the fumble by Rose turns into a Temple touchdown. They go for it on 4th down at the goal line. Just couldn't punch it in. They had 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Couldn't get it in on 4th down. Then Temple responds with another touchdown on the 99-yard drive. So, I mean, UMass is moving the ball well. They just got to finish drives at the end.
Yeah, the yards are 230 for Temple, 220 for UMass. UMass is averaging 7 yards a play, but still down by 11. Brandon Rose out there, quarterback. Hands it off. And bulling his way forward is Brandon Hood. A couple yards on the play.
Brian Smith is the new defensive coordinator for Temple. He came over from Rice, where he spent 7 seasons as their defensive coordinator. And he's a guy that likes to blitz a lot. He led the American in blitz rate last year. This was his favorite time to blitz on 2nd and long. Let's see if he wants to do that kind of thing here at Temple, too.
Slow developing play for Gibson, and immediately stood up and stopped. Dante Pollard, one of the backup safeties there, amongst a couple of defenders after a gain of a yard. You talked about Brian Smith, the defensive coordinator for Temple. No stranger to this campus. He is a UMass class of '01 grad. He was on the national title team back in '98. He also coached here for a couple of years in the mid-2000s. Said he hasn't been here, though, in 10 or 15 years.
Yeah, you get pretty busy as a football coach, but he was excited to come back and see all the new things they have on campus. The new football facilities looking pretty good.
Rooting against UMass today, though, is Temple's defensive coordinator. Throw near side for Gibson. Incomplete. A lot of hand fighting there. It'll be 4th down.
A good physical coverage from Ben Osweke, the senior out of Richmond, Texas. And Temple brought the blitz again there, and UMass did a really nice job of picking it up, giving Rose time to go down the field, but great coverage from Osweke.
So UMass will have to punt for the first time in this game. It's senior Keegan Andrews, as is the case with so many punters these days. He is from Australia. Back deep to receive, Tyler Stewart at his own 20. Straight on kick, crushes it. Huge spiraling kick, fair catch called for at the 7. So great job by Andrews to flip the field there and back Temple up inside the 10-yard line.
And Andrews is fired up about it. He's going crazy on the sidelines with his teammates. Former Texas A&M Aggie transfers in and booms one on his first career punt.
55-yard punt. So Temple has gotten the offense rolling. 10 yards of play for the entire game, 18 yards of play this quarter. What is it that they've done well?
Well, they've gotten the explosive play. We saw the big one from Jay Ducker on the previous drive that allowed them to have the 99-yarder, and now we're going to get a chance to see Giovanni McCoy at quarterback. He's a guy that has some big play potential. He's electric on the ground and has a big arm as well.
So Simon's got 3 touchdowns. Now they'll bring in McCoy, a 5th-year senior. Good defense there, incomplete pass. Incomplete pass.
A really nice play there. Malcolm Green playing outside at corner to fight through the block there and break that up, and that's one that McCoy maybe should pull down and run it. That could have been dangerous.
It's an interesting spot. You see McCoy's career numbers, was the National Freshman of the Year in FCS, won the Jerry Rice Award at Idaho. 27 touchdowns that year. He was first team All Big Sky as a sophomore. Played about half the season at Oregon State last year. He'll keep, and he'll be stopped for a short gain. They told us 2 quarterbacks were going to play. And I don't think they wanted to get all the way into the second half before McCoy had a chance. But the offense has been humming with Simon.
Yeah, it's hard to find a good spot to get McCoy in there. They really wanted to see him in game action. I guess they felt like with an 11-point lead, give him an opportunity here. And that's just a nice play by Marcus White on the outside and reading the mesh point and being able to slide out there and make the stop on McCoy.
Tough spot here, 3rd and 10 from deep in their own territory. McCoy alone in the backfield. Caught, but short of the first down, and Temple will have to punt.
A good ball there from McCoy, but good coverage to get Worthy on the ground before he could get to the sticks. And I'd imagine we'll see Evan Simon back at quarterback the next time Temple gets the football, because they've looked really good with him under center.
A tough spot for McCoy, backed up deep in his own territory to come in for his first real action of the game. Dante Atten, a junior from Australia, will punt it away from his own end zone. Back deep to receive T.Y. Harding at his own 40. Under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Short kick, end over end, will bounce near midfield, but take an excellent Temple bounce inside the 40 to the 37. So good defensive stand by UMass there as we come up on the 2-minute timeout with 2.5 minutes to go here. Coming up at halftime, we're going to have a nice look at the career of Lee Corso, and that was really something this morning. I got to watch all of game day from my hotel. here in the Springfield, Massachusetts area. A lot of emotions. To see him put that Buckeye head on one more time at the 50-yard line, you know, in front of 100,000 plus people was just unbelievable.
Yeah, that was really cool, and I loved how Coach Corso stuck with his thing that he likes to do. He tried to make him think he was going to pick Texas, right? But then he had to go with his first love, Ohio State. His first ever headgear pick was the Buckeyes, and his last one as well. Just what a fantastic guy, Coach Corso.
Pick number 431 this morning. Rose play action. Pressure's on. He's sacked. He is swarmed under by the Temple defensive line. Khalil Poteet finished him off, number 92.
The initial pressure came from the bottom of the screen here, and Stewart flushes him, and then Poteet cleans it up, and he's fired up about it. This Temple defense is starting to get in a groove now. They got the stop, forced a punt on the previous drive, and now they get the sack.
Temple had only 14 sacks all of last season. They get a big one here, a loss of 10. 2-minute timeout here in Amherst, Massachusetts. Back for the end of the first half with Temple leading at 21-10. Get all of ESPN College Football all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Unlock with the ESPN Unlimited plan or log in with your TV provider. Have you seen this feature they've got on the app where at the bottom you can press something and they've got a personalized sports center for you?
I've heard about it. I haven't tried it yet, but that sounds amazing. Like,
it's awesome. I mean, it's really cool. It's based on your favorite teams. And if you don't think I'm binge watching Cincinnati Bengals highlights starting next Sunday, you're out of your mind. You don't know me. Second down and 20 here for UMass. Final 2 minutes. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. Rose is sacked. The pressure gets to him again, and Temple will call a timeout here to stop the clock. Cameron Stewart off the edge.
And Cameron Stewart, he's doing a great job. This is his second play in a row where he's gotten to the quarterback. He didn't get the sack the first time, but he flushed him. And this time he picks up the sack.
Stewart, a fifth-year senior, had only half a sack last year, but he's having his way coming off the edge today.
Look at the left side of the screen here. Stewart's gonna just come off that edge with a nice inside move. Just quickly gets to Rose. He has no chance. And Stewart is starting to get in a groove here as a pass rusher.
Keep in mind, UMass took the opening kickoff in this game and went down the field and scored. So they're up 7-0. Since then, Temple has taken control, and Temple gets the ball to start the second half. And facing a third and very long here, you look for UMass to probably run the ball here. Temple will be forced to call another timeout, but they should get it back with plenty of time left.
Yeah, that's what UMass would like to look to do here, is just take some clock down. You're probably not going to pick up a 3rd and 27. You don't have anything in your playbook specifically for that. So you want to make Temple use that last timeout, try to keep them from putting more points on the board.
Oh, they'll pass. They'll set up the screen, and it's going nowhere. Excellent defense again by the Owls, who are starting to roll another timeout. The pass was caught out in the flat, but an excellent job by Curly Ordonez, who is defensive coordinator, called the most improved player on the defense.
UMass just trying to get an easy completion, hoping to catch Temple being too aggressive, but Ordonez reads that screen well and just chases it down quickly, and Temple's going to have an opportunity to put more points on the board here. One timeout left, 1:47 to go, plenty of time to operate the 2-minute drill here, and we'll see if they try to set up a return or even if they come and try and block this punt here with UMass backed up a bit.
The coordinator said he's very good in the run and the pass game. Ordonez, good instincts. And we saw that there. So 3 consecutive negative plays, -10, -7, -5 for UMass. Now 4th and an eternity, and Andrews will be counted on to get off another good punt.
And Temple did a good job in that series of getting pressure with 4. They didn't have to bring the blitz to get pressure on Brandon Rose, and Cameron Stewart was doing a lot of it.
So Keegan Andrews, who had a huge punt earlier in the quarter, will punt it on 4th and 32 to Tyler Stewart, who's at his own 40-yard line for the Owls. Left-footed rugby kick, crushes it again. Wow. Wow, inside the 30, Stewart has some room to run. Stewart in the open field to the 45. And ridden out of bounds across midfield. Good return by Tyler Stewart. Andrews kind of outkicked the coverage a little bit there. A 23-yard return.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That was quite a boot, but Stewart had plenty of room to operate back there, and Temple in great position in UMass territory to go down and score here. Clock really not going to be an issue for the Owls with 1:34 left. They don't have far to go.
There is an injured UMass player, a special teamer, and do you go back to Evan Simon here in the 2-minute drill, or do you stay with McCoy?
I go with Evan Simon and try to put another touchdown on the board and really separate yourself in this game, especially with Temple getting the football to start the second half. You know, one of the things that Bill Belichick believes in, it is going to be Evan Simon, is the middle 8 minutes of the football game really decide the momentum. If you can score right before halftime, get the ball back to start the second half and score again, that really sets you up to take over the momentum and win the game.
So McCoy had 1 drive that was a 3-and-out from inside the 10. Simon has 3 touchdown passes today. He'll start in plus territory. He's got time. He's looking for a 4th touchdown pass. Instead, it's caught by Bermudez. Back shoulder catch to the 25.
Just a little slot fade for Bermudez, and they really have a good connection. Simon and Bermudez, nice timing play there. It's good coverage from UMass, but Simon does a good job of just laying that ball up on the outside shoulder, letting Bermudez make the adjustment, and he uses his athleticism to flip around and make that grab.
23-yard gain to Bermudez, who makes his 6th catch of the game.
Plenty of time for the Owls now. The clock stops as he goes out of bounds, and time not an issue. They can put one in the end zone.
Simon, 10 out of 13, 157 yards and 3 touchdowns. This is a run for Chase, and he's dragged down from behind. Good defensive play there by David Onoha. Gain of 2.
another transfer from Rutgers that followed head coach Joe Harasimiak from the Scarlet Knights, a guy that is really twitchy, that they think can be a good pass rusher for them, and making the stop.
So there was a timeout called there.
Well, UMass is maybe in a situation now where they want to see if they can get the football back, and if Temple scores here, they want to have enough time to answer themselves before the half.
Evan Simon has played well.
Oh, Simon has looked so good today. 10 of 13 for 157 and 3 scores. He's been accurate. He's had a good connection with JoJo Bermudez. He's had some wide open receivers to throw to as well, especially Peter Clark. Really beautiful ball there from Simon to Holloway for the score. And another one up the seam to Peter Clark. It's been a quarterback battle all camp. The coaching staff would not announce the starting quarterback beforehand. Simon ended up getting the start, and he has run away with the game so far today. They haven't had much time to put Giovanni McCoy in.
That was a Temple timeout. It's the Owls' final timeout of the first half. So they're out of timeouts, but they still got a minute 20 and change on second down. Simon throwing near side. Miscommunication with Kush. It's incomplete.
Yeah, it's interesting how they've used the young freshman tight end. They've been flexing him out, getting him lined up out wide a lot today to try to match him up on some corners, but just a miscommunication. Simon thought he was going to continue that into the end zone, and Kutch just stopped it short on a hitch route.
Temple's kicker, Carl Harden, has a very strong leg, so they're well within his range here to be about 40 yards or so from here. But they would like to convert, keep the ball for the rest of the half, but it is 3rd down and 8.
And for Evan Simon here, you want to pick up the first down, but you can't be too aggressive. You got to understand you've got those 3 points in your back pocket. Don't take a sack, don't throw a pick.
Inside screen for Chase. And he has got the first down inside the 15. Nifty play call there by Tyler Walker.
Colin Chase, they really want to get him the football a lot. They found a way there on the tunnel screen to move the chains.
Clock running here, coming up in a minute to go. Temple 1st and 10. Simon throws into the flat, caught for a Temple touchdown. 13 yards out, Therese Worthy makes it 27-10.
The Owls making it look easy, going tempo. They got man coverage. You got a safety that's got to walk down and cover Worthy. It doesn't get there in time, and he just walks it in for another Temple score.
Therese Worthy's 2nd touchdown catch of his career. A senior from Salisbury, Maryland. They call him T-Rex. And when I asked the offensive coordinator, who's the hype man on the offense? He said it's Therese Worthy. He's going 100 miles an hour all the time. Kick is up. Kick is good. 5-play, 48-yard drive. Took only 35 seconds as Temple has opened up an 18-point lead.
That fumble from UMass that seems to have really flipped this game around, because the Minutemen had moved the ball pretty well the early part of the game. Brandon Rose loses that fumble on a nice play by Caden Supernot to knock it out. And Temple has just taken over the game since then to pull out this 18-point lead. Really important for UMass to have an answer here, as the Owls will get the ball to start the second half.
Temple has scored 21 unanswered this quarter to take the lead. 4 touchdown passes already for Evan Simon, a 6th-year senior. As you said, though, UMass a chance to get something going into the half. About a minute left to go. They have all 3 of their timeouts. Need something positive to go into the locker room. T.Y. Harding looking to provide a spark. Back deep for UMass inside the 5. He will call for the fair catch and make it. It'll come out to the 25-yard line.
59 seconds for UMass. They've got all 3 timeouts.
There's a flag away from the ball. Some sort of unsportsmanlike probably coming up here near the 35-yard line. And if this is on Temple, and I don't know if it is or not, Casey Keeler's going to lose it. All the momentum right now. You don't want to give the other team any sort of momentum with a personal foul. We'll see who it's on.
Yeah, for either team, not a good time for a penalty like that.
Conduct.
And the bad momentum snowballing against UMass.
If you're already in a hole, don't want to dig it any deeper. You got to manage the emotions. It's tough on a first game of the season. You've been excited about it. You get down in a hole, but you can't respond like that. Just got to fight back on the field. UMass with a long way to go here, but they've got the 3 timeouts. Clock will stop under 2 minutes to move the chains. They've got a chance to put one in the end zone here.
So from the 12.5-yard line, Brandon Rose out of the shotgun. Pressure's on again, he throws. And a catch made along the sideline by Gibson. Good catch out to the 27 for a first down, a gain of about 15.
A nice job by Gibson to tap the toe, make sure he stays in bounds to secure that catch.
They talk about drive starters, a great drive starter there. Get some forward momentum going. Rose takes the shotgun snap. He's flushed out of the pocket. And he dives forward past the 30. They should probably call a timeout here. They will, with 47 seconds left.
A good deep coverage there by Temple. A couple of safeties just backpedaling, getting deep over top of the deep routes that Rose was looking for. He had no choice but to tuck it and run, and a good decision to call the timeout there and stop the clock with 2 left now for UMass.
UMass moved the ball well early, but Temple's defense has started to assert itself.
And the pass rush has been good for Temple lately, and it all started on this fumble. Caden Supernaut swiping that ball out. Powell with the recovery. Temple would score a touchdown off of it on offense. That really got the momentum going. Then UMass had first and goal at the 3-yard line. Temple gets the stop. This was the 4th down play. They stop him at the goal line. And then it was Cameron Stewart and Poteet combining on that sack. Stewart gets another one on the next play to back UMass all the way up. Temple would score again on their ensuing drive. And the defense has really stood tall for the Owls the last quarter or so.
UMass has about 220 yards. You know, Rocco Griffin's got 92 yards rushing, but really a lot of that came early first quarter and early second quarter. Now Temple has started to really put the clamps down on defense, and in a 2-minute drill situation here. Rose, plenty of time, throws, incomplete, a little bit high for Jaquan Gibson. It's really been almost all Gibson and Harding in terms of targets.
Those have been the guys that Rose has relied on. That they feel like Jake McConaughey can be a guy that can contribute, and Donnie Gray as well at receiver, but they just haven't been open as much today.
I think this is an interesting decision here because Temple is out of timeouts. If UMass does not get this first down and the clock stops, they would give Temple the ball back with 35 seconds or so left. If they run the ball, the half will end. Temple cannot get the ball back. They'll pass. Rose throws. Incomplete. So the clock stops with 38 seconds left, and Temple will get the ball back with no timeouts.
Yeah, another chance for Temple to tack on here, and the pass rush again for the Owls, causing fits for UMass. And they had Siku Chroma lined up right over top of the center. He got that pressure. And we'll see if Temple wants to try to push it down the field and get on the board again.
Again, under 2 minutes, the clock stops with every first down. So it's really, you know, if they get the ball back with 30 seconds left, it's plenty of time to at least get into field goal range, if not a touchdown. Keegan Andrews has been crushing the ball, the punter for UMass. Shorter kick this time. It'll bounce, and it'll bounce all the way inside the 10, and that may be the end of Temple's scoring hopes as it's down at the 2-yard line. Excellent job again by Andrews.
Man, what a day for the Aussie punter. And I'd say now Temple's just got to go with maybe even a quarterback sneak with how far backed up they are. Just something up the middle to protect the football, run out this clock, and go to the half with the lead.
So 26 seconds left. UMass does have 2 timeouts, but if Temple were to just quarterback sneak it or kneel it 3 times in a row, the half would end. So I don't think you'll see Temple be too aggressive here. Up by 18 in the final 30 seconds.
Well, there were a lot of unknowns coming into this game. 2 new head coaches on both sides with completely new staffs. Temple didn't even announce who their quarterback was going to be, but Evan Simon's been fantastic in the first half for the Owls.
So Simon under center will hand it off. And that does bring in the fumble possibility, as there is a flag down on the far side of the field at the 5-yard line. Offsides against UMass. So now there's room to just take a knee and run the last 21 seconds of the clock off the time.
That's what Temple's got to do here. Just take the knee, go to the half with an 18-point lead, and then the Owls will get the ball to start the second half and a chance to really stretch this lead.
Actually, the clock is running anyways. 10 seconds left. So Temple will not have to run another play. Before we go to break, we will talk to Temple head coach K.C. Keeler as he runs off the field. UMass scored the first 7 of the game, but Temple has bounced back on the strength of 21 unanswered points since in the second quarter to take a 28-10 lead.
The defense has really stepped up for Temple. The pass rush has been good the last quarter. It all started with forcing the fumble on Brandon Rose that flipped the momentum in this game. And Evan Simon has been great at quarterback for the Owls, 12 of 16 for 180 and 4 scores. He's had a good connection with JoJo Bermudez at wide receiver, and the Owls couldn't ask for a better start to the K.C. Keeler era.
28-10. Temple with the lead over UMass in the season opener for both of these teams. (28-10) is the score. We're now joined by Temple head coach K.C. Keeler, Coach Robert Lee, Patrick Murray with you. You talked about how would your team respond to adversity? UMass goes down the field, scores on the first drive of the game. How pleased are with the way your team has bounced back?
Yeah, it's how you script it. I mean, let them score, miss a bunch of tackles. We dropped, I think, 2 interceptions, had 2 penalties. So very frustrating, and the offense steps up and gets a score. I think it was a big sigh of relief on the sideline, then we played from there. You can see, you can only tackle so much in training camp, and you can see that that's something early on in the season that you got to be aware of. You're probably going to miss some tackles. We missed some tackles we shouldn't be missing. So, but, it's a great fight back and forth.
Coach, coming into the game, you had 2 quarterbacks that you felt good about. What have you liked that you've seen from Evan Simon so far today? Yeah,
it's tough to pull Evan and give Giovanni a chance because, again, I mean, we're moving the ball. He has great command of the offense, throwing a great ball right now. So, and that's why we never want to get pinned into a situation where, hey, we're going to play one guy the second series or the third series, because it's football. It's a crapshoot. You never know what you're going to get. But Evan's played really well, great command of the offense, and he's scoring some points.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Good luck in the second half.
All right, thanks, guys.
K.C. Keeler, the head coach of Temple, and his team with 21 unanswered in the second quarter to take a 28-10 lead here on the road at UMass. Season opener, first game for 2 new head coaches, and it's been the Owls up 18 so far. When we return, the halftime report, a great look at the career of Lee Corso when we return. Perfect weather for the season opener here in Amherst, Massachusetts. The students are out in full force. Halftime between the Owls and the Minutemen. For decades, one person has stood out above the rest for entertaining not only students, college football fans, players, and coaches. We pay tribute to ESPN's Lee Corso.
When LC puts on the headgear every Saturday morning, that is the moment when the day of football can start.
Could have never have dreamt that it would have become where we are today, where fans every week, that's what they wait for, to see which headgear he's going to put on.
I like Ohio State's speed and power, but I question their place kicker and their punter.
The headgear tradition started in 1996 at Ohio State. Herb Street was fairly new on the show, and Kirk's wife Allison had been an Ohio State cheerleader.
He thought I might have some kind of in to try to get Brutus his headgear.
They had to do some very high-level, tense negotiations.
I'm telling you, it took 3 or 4 different back and forths until finally they green-lighted Brutus.
I tell you one thing.
Let's just examine the Brutus head. It's a head representing a nut, a two-tone nut.
I like the Buckeyes.
So it's ridiculous looking. You can't help but laugh.
Hey, 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 hey.
And when he sensed that that was an entertaining moment that resonated with fans across the sport, he embraced it, and it's become a beloved tradition.
Colorado in a big upset.
I remember him as a young kid watching College Game Day, and Lee Corso was on there putting on the headgear. He is College Game Day.
I feel like I've been watching Lee Corso do that since, I was in high school. The different antics he's used and mascots he's used has been pretty incredible.
Pirate wolf costume, a purple cow!
To this day, I still watch and anticipate to see what he's going to do.
Go Navy, beat Army.
Seeing him fire off the guns is pretty funny.
My favorite one, we're at Texas, and McConaughey starts wrestling the LSU Tiger head off of LC. There was a little trickle of blood.
Katy Perry was incredible. Like, she damn near broke my man's nose, taking the mascot head off of him.
How can you pick against SMU?
He's thrown out some words that might needed to be edited.
My favorite memories definitely include live animals.
We got a live duck loose on the set.
He's not afraid of gamecocks. He's not afraid of alligators. He's not afraid of dogs of any kind.
That dog is beautiful. That dog is ugly. Give me this thing here.
I think the best part is when Coach does the okey-doke, where he grabs one head, gets ready to put it on, and then he chucks it to the side and grabs the other one.
Penn State.
Give him that head. Does that mean you're going to go against your first love, Brutus?
Coach Corso is a maestro of the crowd. He can take them on a ride like not many people in the history of television can.
Corso with the duck.
He's always got something ready for the people, and to see him come out as Ben Franklin was just absolutely incredible.
I founded Penn. This is my school.
My best moment is when he picked Texas to win the national championship.
Tonight, they shocked the entire universe.
And all the other guys up there were totally against him.
I'm going with Texas Longhorns. Hook up, Texas!
And then we won. And I've praised Coach for that ever since.
He takes the headgear and he puts it on, right? And he just does this.
Hey! That royal wave is very perfect for the human that he is, the king of college football.
I think he's been a great ambassador for college football and has brought some great perspective, but also brought laughs and fun to a game that we have to remember is still supposed to be fun and supposed to be a game.
What he's provided to so many households, what he's provided to so many of us as coaches, he put a lot of fun in the game. I just can't thank him enough.
Roll Tide!
It's sincere, it's authentic, it's genuine, it embraces the fans, it embraces the tradition of what makes this sport unlike any other, and what makes Lee Corso a college football broadcaster, an icon that's unlike any other who's ever been involved with this sport.
And God bless the United States of America!
The fact that I've got a chance to sit next to you all these years and watch you do your thing and just learn from you, it just taught me so much about this industry, watching you perform and the way you did it.
There he is. The Kirk Herbstreit Show.
We love you so much. You're a piece of gold that we cherish.
Hope you got a chance to check out College Game Day this morning. An incredible tribute to a true icon, Lee Corso. And when he put on the Buckeye hat for the last time, I know it got a little dusty at the Residence Inn in West Springfield. More to come on the halftime show right after this. We're here at Temple and UMass. Beautiful day here in Amherst, Massachusetts, and it's the visitors from Temple with a 28-10 lead at the half. We'll be back right after this. Just about set to start the second half here in Amherst. You're watching the MAC on ESPN. Temple starts the third quarter with a 28-10 lead. If you joined us late, UMass actually went down the field and scored on the first drive of the game, but it's been almost all Temple since then.
Now, Rocco Griffin got things started for the Minutemen, running hard behind his O-line, getting in the end zone. He's got 92 yards on 9 carries in the first half. He's looked good, but it's been all Temple from that point on. It started with this fumble. Caden Supernot poking it out. Avery Powell with the recovery, and the Owls took over the momentum of the ball game from that point. They answered it with a touchdown. Evan Simons looked really good at quarterback, hitting his tight end, Peter Clark, right there. Another one to Kajaya Holloway in his first touchdown catch as a Temple Owl. And Simon going back to his tight end, Clark. 4 touchdown passes on the first half for the senior quarterback, Evan Simon. The final one to his running back, Terez Worthy, to put Temple up 28-10.
Take a look at the first half stats. And Temple really overcame a slow start and started to play extremely well. You look at the yards, 285 yards for Temple. 219 for UMass, not bad, but a lot of those early, that turnover was key. Temple with a couple of sacks late in the first half. Robert Lee, Patrick Murray, our entire terrific ESPN crew with you from Amherst, Massachusetts. Patrick is a proud grad of the University of Tennessee. I am a Syracuse University grad. The two teams played earlier today, and somehow Tennessee pulled out a 45-26 win over Syracuse in Atlanta. Congratulations, 1-0, first step to the playoff, right, Patrick?
I'm excited about the Volunteers this year. Joey Aguilar looking good at quarterback. I don't think it's going to matter that they don't have Nico. Tennessee's looking good.
How great is it to have college football back?
Oh, I love it. It's so fantastic. I mean, Coach Corso, his final headgear pick this morning. Ohio State and Texas, the Buckeyes winning the big game. Florida State had the lead at halftime over Alabama. We'll see how that one turns out. And I'm really looking forward to LSU and Clemson tonight, too. Really good quarterbacks in that one.
The battle of the Tigers, the battle of the Death Valleys. Clemson's Death Valley will be rocking around 7:30 tonight on our networks. Here, UMass is down 28-10. Temple will get the ball to start the second half. What does UMass have to improve to get back into this game?
UMass has got to limit the explosive plays from Temple. That's been a big part of the game. The Owls have 5 plays of 20-plus yards. UMass has just 2. So the Minuteman defense has got to keep that in check. They've got to get lined up properly and make sure they're responding in the correct way when Temple is showing them all kinds of emotions and things like that.
That guy you just saw there was K.C. Keeler, and it's only 30 minutes, right? He would tell us that, but this is a guy that they are very high on. He has been a winner everywhere he's gone. He's a winner at Rowan, a Division III school. He won a national title at Delaware in the FCS. He won another national title at Sam Houston a few years back, led them into FBS, probably won 10 games in a bowl game. He's been a winner everywhere he's gone. We mentioned he's second amongst active FBS coaches in wins. 16 of his 31 years, they've won at least 10 games. And we asked him, why move? Why now? He said, well, first thing he said, my daughter and her 3 grandkids live in Wilmington, Delaware. So Temple is a lot closer than Sam Houston to Wilmington, Delaware. In fact, he said his wife was not coming to the game today. It was his grandkids' first birthday, CC, and they're down at Rehoboth Beach in Delaware celebrating. Got to be happy with the way the first 30 minutes has gone, but the game is not over yet. Temple and K.C. Keeler's boys will get the ball to start the second half, taking it on the run. Tyler Stewart, he fumbled the ball. It's loose on the ground, and he falls on it at the 20-yard line.
Good recovery there for Stewart. That could have been a big momentum changer if he had lost that football, but he hangs on. And this Temple program has had 4 straight 3-9 seasons, but I love that K.C. Keeler said he has no interest in being realistic. He expects to win conference championships. He wants to win a conference championship as soon as possible, but couldn't corral that one on the initial catch, but did a great job by Stewart to just fall on it and ensure that Temple holds on to the football.
When we asked him why Temple, he not only cited some of the coaches who've had success recently. When he played at Delaware, he played for the legendary head coach Tubby Raymond. They won the national title while he was in school there. They lost 1 game that year. It was against Temple. He actually lost a couple of games to Temple in his career at Delaware. McCoy in there, quarterback, and it's a short run up the middle. He was a linebacker on that Delaware team, class of 1981. And he's originally from the Southeast Philly area, from Emmaus, Pennsylvania, which is near Allentown, about 50 miles north of Temple's campus. So just underway second half. Casey Keeler, 66 years old. And his team off to the 28-10 lead. It's a handoff. And breaking tackles and diving forward for a first down is Jay Ducker, who goes over 100 yards for the game with a 9-yard run.
Ducker's had a nice game, and Temple's been very balanced offensively. 18 passes, 16 runs, and Ducker picking up a nice first down there, and see how McCoy does running this offense.
10th 100-yard game of his career. 11 carries, 103 yards for the fifth-year senior from Omaha. McCoy getting a shot to start the second half here. Was mostly Simon in the first half at quarterback. Fake the pitch, McCoy keeps. Picking his way forward and dragged down out past the 35.
Now, Tyler Walker, the offensive coordinator for Temple, came in from Montana State, and last year with the Bobcats led the FCS in scoring, and he did it by running the football. Had 3 1,000-yard rushers, including his quarterback, Tommy Malott. So a lot of people talking about this Temple offense in the offseason said, how's it going to work if you don't have a quarterback that can run? Well, he said, I take a look at Evan Simon. He runs just fine. I don't know what you're talking about. And then they've got Giovanni McCoy that they could put in there, who's got some wheels too.
Running right, Therese Worthy, flag down. Worthy out of bounds near midfield. Couple of flags down, maybe coming back.
That's going to be a holding on Temple, as one of the UMass defensive linemen got yanked down.
Holding. Offense, number 77.
Captain Diego Barajas, the right tackle, called for the infraction.
Penalties have not been a big issue for the Owls today. That's just their third one, but that negates a pretty good gain.
Only 4 penalties in that first half for UMass. So not a huge factor in the game. They did have that one turnover that really swung the momentum of the game. It'll only back them up a couple of yards here, so it'll be second down and 12. Giovanni McCoy from the Los Angeles area hands it off, and running over the left side is Therese Worthy.
A similar way starting this second half, similar to the way Temple started the game, and their first drive of the first half, just really wanting to establish the run. Some inside runs, some outside runs, see how UMass is going to defend it and try to set up some throws down the field later on in the half.
Temple 3 out of 5 on third down in that first half. UMass looking for a stop here. McCoy rolls out to his right, throws into the flat, wide open. Therese Worthy upfield, has room across midfield and driven out of bounds inside the 50-yard line at the 47. A gain of 18 and a first down.
Yeah, they've done a good job using Worthy in the passing game out of the backfield today. Had a touchdown catch earlier. This time just sprinting to the flat. They get a little rollout, get McCoy on the move, let him use his athleticism, and picks up an easy gain.
Into UMass territory at the 47. Worthy again. And driven out of bounds after a short gain by TJ McGee, the cornerback.
Evan Simon starting the game at quarterback for Temple. Looked really good with 4 touchdown passes in the first half. Giovanni McCoy had such a great preseason camp that Casey Keeler really didn't want to choose a quarterback coming into this game, wanted to play both of these guys, and McCoy getting his opportunity now to start the second half.
Won the Freshman of the Year award nationally at Idaho his freshman season. Ducker up the middle. So not only is Temple moving the ball slowly up the field, they're taking time off the clock here. So still a long way to go. 25, 26 minutes of game action left, but this is going to be about a 5-minute drive by the time it's all over. Now some tempo here from Temple on third down.
And they're going to go with a check with me. You get lined up, you let the offensive coordinator in the booth, Tyler Walker, see what the UMass defense looks like, and then he gives you a new play call to try to give you an advantage.
3rd and 7. Swing pass for Ducker. Strung out. and does gain about 4 yards on the play, maybe 3 yards. Will set up a manageable 4th down as we come up on 10 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, this is a decision right here. I mean, 4th and 3. And it looks like they're going to send out the punt team, which I think is the right call. But when you have an 18-point lead, if it's a closer game, maybe you think about going for it there, but no point in pushing it.
So Dante Atten will come out to punt the ball, only punted twice in that first half. UMass very late getting some players onto the field. A penalty would be enough for a Temple first down. There's no penalty flags as Atten drops it inside the 10 beautifully. Well, that was very close for UMass. If they have too many men or not enough men on the field, that's a first down for Temple. Regardless, UMass takes over inside its own 10. They get the stop early in the 3rd quarter.
The College Football Playoff begins December 19th and concludes with the National Championship January 19th on ESPN.
We're just starting the bulk of the season today, but looking down the road, still 12-team college football playoff. You see some of the criteria there, but a change at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, the one change this year is now the teams that get the bye will be the teams 1 through 4 in the final rankings. No longer do you get a bye by being the top 4 ranked conference champions. It's the top 4 teams in the rankings that will get the bye, and I think that was a great change to make that we learned from last year's playoff.
So Patrick, we got to ask you, we know you're a volunteer, so who do you got going all the way, Tennessee and who?
You know what? I'm an SEC kind of guy, but I'm going to pick a Big Ten team. I'm going to take Penn State to win the title. I think they kind of fit the mold of what happened the last couple of years with Michigan and Ohio State. They're a veteran team. They've used their NIL pool to bring back some key players. They've got the 2 great running backs in Nick Singleton and Katron Allen, the veteran QB and Drew Aller, a great offensive coordinator, and Kodal Nickey. I like the Nittany Lions.
All right, we'll hold you to that 3 months from now. Throw for Gibson. Makes the catch and trying to dart his way forward. Gibson was targeted 14 times in the first half. That's his 8th catch of the game.
They are just feeding him the football. Brandon Rose has a good connection with him, and Gibson's been getting open. He's shifty, he's quick, and he could be physical at the top of his routes also.
Left tackle Luke Painton is slow to get up. He played only 1 game last year with injury issues. But he is up quickly and walking off the field, but he'll have to come out for this play.
Yeah, Payton's a big dude at 6'7", 320. Columbia transfer, only in his 3rd year as an offensive lineman. He started his career in college as a tight end.
So was a gain on first down of about 4 yards. Rose. Caught again by Gibson for a first down out past the 20.
Gibson, once again, he just keeps getting open and does a good job that time of just finding the soft spot in the zone for Temple, settling down between a couple of defenders, and Rose puts a good ball on him.
Gibson's 9th catch of the game. Rose flushed out of the pocket, rolling right, looking downfield. He's going to run, and he's going to go out of bounds after a short gain.
Curly Ordonez coming on the blitz from his linebacker spot for Temple. He's the one that flushed Rose out of the pocket, and Rocco Griffin came and picked him up, got a chip on him, or else that might have been a sack, but that blew up the play.
Both these teams downtrodden in recent years. UMass 8-56 over the last 6 years, but they've joined a conference, the MAC. This is their first game back in the MAC. They were in the MAC for 4 years back in the 2010s. Pressure's on, throw, caught. McConaughey flagged down. Could be a roughing the passer situation here as Rose took a hit. That's a big penalty, as it'll give UMass 15 yards and a first down.
Yeah, opportunity here for the Minutemen to take advantage. They did that on their first scoring drive. They got a pass interference penalty that helped them move down the field. They capitalized and scored a touchdown. Now Rose taking that shot after the play, and they get a big gain out of it. Can they take advantage here?
UMass comes off a 2-win season, have not beaten an FBS school in 2 years. On a 12-game losing streak against FBS schools and trying to rally to end that here. Another catch for Gibson, his 10th.
And Brandon Rose doing a good job getting the ball out quick there. Another blitz from Temple. Curly Ordonez coming again from the linebacker spot. Rose just finding his favorite target, and Gibson on a little hitch route with some space on the outside.
Midway third quarter. Jaquan Gibson from Fayetteville, North Carolina, about an hour south of Raleigh, is having a huge game. Rose back to pass. Hit as he throws. It's complete. Nice grab there by Tyree Kelly. First time we've called his name today. And it's a UMass first down, a gain of 15.
Kelly, the transfer from South Florida, matched up one-on-one against a safety. What a throw from Rose, going to the opposite sideline, putting it on the money.
All passes on this drive. Still a lot of time to go, but it's been effective for Rose so far. And on cue, here's a run. And a short run for Griffin.
Now, Rocco Griffin's been real effective today. I mean, before that carry, he's averaging over 10 yards a touch. But most of that came on the 41-yard gain he had.
92 yards in the first half for Griffin, as you said, on just 9 carries and a touchdown. Coming up on 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. No score yet here in the third quarter. Rose throws to the far sideline and throws a laser for a first down. Guess who? Jaquan Gibson. Can anyone cover him?
And UMass was wanting a penalty on the end, on the takedown at the end there, but some zone coverage from Temple, giving them some space on the outside, and Gibson just keeps on taking advantage with some short routes, and another strong throw from Rose.
That's not an easy throw to make there, and he made it look easy. 11 catches, 127 yards for Gibson. We're still in the middle of the third quarter. Almost intercepted. Broken up nicely there by Ben Osweke, the cornerback. We've called his name a few times today.
Yeah, Osweke's all over that. Rose kind of forced that one there. He's starting to feel the pressure a little bit. Had to get rid of it. And Osweke was covering him like a blanket.
Five and a half to go, third quarter. No score yet in this third quarter. UMass had a 7-0 lead in this game. Rose, quick screen, caught McConaughey, and a nice tackle in the open field to prevent a bigger gain. It'll be third down.
Casey Killer was telling us right before the half, he was really unhappy with the way Temple tackled to start the game, but they've cleaned that up since then. A good open field hit by Avery Powell, just taking out the legs.
Third down here, and this probably 4-down territory with an 18-point deficit and 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Rose pump fakes, has time, lobs it into the near corner, incomplete. Intended for Max Dowling, the backup tight end. There is a flag down at the 7-yard line. Matt Pikowski, the ref today.
Number 10. After the goal, first down.
Another penalty against Temple on this drive.
They had the roughing the passer earlier that really gave UMass a break to move the chains, and Ty Davis that time in coverage on the tight end. Dowling gets called for the hold, and UMass knocking on the door here.
Had a 1st and goal from the 3 in the first half that they got stopped on downs. Got to convert here. 1st and goal from the 6. Griffin, the running back to the right of Rose. Rose feels the pressure, gets away, throws, intercepted! Intercepted in the end zone by Ben Osweke.
Man, Osweke's had a great day at corner for Temple, but that one started with the defensive line, getting pressure on Brandon Rose, moving him off his spot. He had to step up in the pocket, got rid of that football, but threw it behind his receiver, McConaughey, and Osweke was right there to make the pick.
Ben Osweke, his first career interception. The 5th-year senior from the Houston area. A back-breaking turnover for UMass in the end zone. 28-10, Temple maintains the lead.
Let's take another look at that interception. Khalil Poteet on the defensive line for Temple right here. He's going to get the pressure that forces Brandon Rose to step up. Poteet coming right up the middle. Great swim move. forces Rose to step up. He has to get rid of the ball quickly. It's an inaccurate throw, and Osweke is right there to make the pick for Temple and take potential points off the board for UMass.
So 2 times into the red zone, long drives, 4-minute type drives, stopped at the 1-yard line on one, and a turnover in the end zone on Osweke's first career interception. Evan Simon back in at quarterback. He will hand it off on a misdirection play, and UMass was not fooled.
And those have been 2 huge plays in the game. You talk about the first goal line stand and then the interception here. That's at least 6 points, possibly even 14 more points that could have been on the board for UMass. And this is a much closer ball game, but Temple's defense has made the plays down in the red zone to keep the Minutemen out of the end zone.
So Temple, with an 18-point lead and about 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter, will look to drive and take some time off the clock. It's Simon keeping, and he dives down. Now he dove shoulder first, so he does pick up the first down out past the 30, a gain of 10.
A nice play design there from Tyler Walker. You get a lot of motion, a lot of eye candy that the UMass defense has to deal with. And look at the 2 pullers in front of Simon. You get a receiver out there in Bermudez. You get the big tight end and Peter Clark to get some blockers in front of him and give him room to move the chains.
Back to pass, Simon throws down the seam. Oh, what a grab, Peter Clark. First down across midfield.
Oh, Peter Clark using every bit of his big frame right there. At 6'6", 265 pounds. Just going up over the top. Matched up against a smaller linebacker in Tyler Martin. And Clark just goes up and gets it with the strength.
Another explosive play, 20+, 23 yards there. Ducker up the middle. You mentioned that Clark is from London. He actually learned how to play football, you mentioned in the first half, by watching YouTube videos. People are going to be YouTubing Peter Clark catching radius after the game.
The next generation of England football players is going to be learning how to play by watching Peter Clark highlight videos. The way he's had 3 of those explosive plays today, 20+ yards.
His offensive coordinator said even though he's not very experienced, he's very fluid, he moves naturally. You've seen that today. 4 catches for 85 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ducker spun down, but not until he picks up another clock-eating first down to the 35.
And this offense that Tyler Walker runs, they can get some big plays from the tight ends in it. They really like to use them a lot in RPOs and in different ways with motions to try to get them down the field. And O-line does a good job dividing the defense there. Ducker gets his legs cut out from underneath him, but not before he picks up the first down.
Ducker over 100 yards for the 10th time in his career. Under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Pass into the flat for a wide open Bermudez. UMass closes in on him, but not until another good gain. Tackle made by Darion Craig. First time we've called his name today, gain of 9.
And Bermudez going in motion there, and they really like to mess with you in this offense with a lot of motions. Bermudez, he starts going in motion, then he stops, acts like he's going to go back the other way, keeps going in motion. And as a defender, if you have to match that, you don't know where he's going, that's tough to do, and that's what got him open out in the flat.
A run up the middle by Joquez Smith, close to the 20.
A very deep running back room for Temple. It's been Jay Ducker that's gotten the vast majority of the carries today. He's got 117 on 15 carries. But Therese Worthy is a good one. Joquez Smith has got some speed, getting an opportunity to carry it on this drive.
Temple chewing up the clock here. This could be the last play of the third quarter. It is a first down. It's a passing play. A throw into the end zone. Oh. Incomplete. Almost a spectacular catch.
And Colin Chase had a chance there, but TJ McGee with some great coverage, being physical, And those are the type of catches that Chase made at St. Thomas University in Minnesota at the FCS level. When you watch his tape, he was very physical at the catch point, one of his strengths. But McGee did a good job there of being more physical and breaking up that pass. You see it at the top of the screen. McGee hanging on him, then gets the hand in there at the end to be able to knock it out.
Excellent play on the ball both ways there. Chase all Pioneer League at the FCS level last year. It's a handoff. Nope, it's a keep by Simon, and that will be the last play of the third quarter. So third down coming up for Temple. No scoring in that third quarter, but Temple's okay with that. They maintain a 28-10 lead.
The Owls getting it done, running down the clock, handing it off to their deep stable of running backs, looking to pick up the first win of the KC Keeler era.
Temple has lost 20 games in a row away from home, the longest streak in FBS. They're 15 minutes away from ending that, possibly. 28-10, headed to the fourth. Leads the MAC's newest member, UMass, as we head to the fourth quarter. Next Saturday, we've got a full slate of MAC games starting at 3:30 Eastern. UMass will be back home when they host Bryant out of the FCS. West Virginia at Ohio. Ohio gave Rutgers all they could handle the other night. And you like that Western Kentucky-Toledo game. Toledo played well today.
Toledo gave Kentucky all it could handle, 24-16 in that one. Western Kentucky, certainly a contender for the Conference USA Championship. The Rockets, a contender in the MAC, two really good quarterbacks. I think that'll be a fun one. But it seems like every year there's always a MAC upset, right? Last year it was Northern Illinois over Notre Dame. Maybe Ohio could do it to West Virginia. We'll see.
Fly that pirate flag. Toledo, the preseason pick to win the MAC. Starting the fourth quarter, Evan Simon on 3rd down for Temple. Fakes the handoff, rolls out left. Pressure, throws. It is caught for a 1st down inside the 10, breaking a tackle Bermudez. And it'll be 1st and goal. Robert Lee, Patrick Murray, our entire crew with you from McGurk Alumni Stadium in Amherst, Massachusetts, where Temple is looking to break a 20-game road losing streak and start the year 1-0 under new head coach K.C. Keeler.
Evan Simon getting the start at quarterback today. The senior using his athleticism on the edge there, throwing on the move to find JoJo Bermudez, the transfer from Delaware.
Evan Simon had a game last year against Utah State that he had 5 touchdown passes and ran for 1. He's got 4 TD passes as of now. Gets away. He's going to run for it. He dives for the end zone, and he's stopped at the 1-yard line.
Oh, nice play there by Evan Simon to escape the pressure. Temple had a mesh concept called. They're running shallow crossers, trying to create a rub over the middle of the field. UMass covered it up well. The pressure's starting to get there, but Simon wiggled his way out of a defensive lineman's grasp to keep that play alive.
UMass brings in some bigger personnel on defense.
Lower in the shoulder. He tries to get to the end zone there, and the knee down at the 1-yard line.
That's a great call.
With the ball just short of the goal line.
Great job by the line judge there. So Simon will go under center with the I formation on 2nd and goal. He'll hand it off, and UMass stops him. It was Therese Worthy stopped for a loss of a couple.
The D-line standing tall for the Minutemen, and they're going to need a goal line stand here if they're going to have a chance to come back in this ball game.
This drive has taken about 6 minutes off the clock, with Temple leading UMass by 18 and looking to, for all intents and purposes, almost put the game away if they can score another touchdown here. UMass very late getting some substitutions in. The referee will make them hold up until they get those in, and now to be 3rd and goal. Play action. Simon throws. Kush has got it. He dives for the end zone and a touchdown. First career catch and score for Ryder Kush, 34-10.
Kush, the true freshman out of White Rock, British Columbia. They get him on the move, coming across the screen. Simon off the play action bootleg, throws a nice accurate ball and the dive into the end zone to extend this Temple lead. Love the athleticism from the big freshman tight end to outrun the linebacker in coverage and get to the pylon.
His offensive coordinator said when he got to Temple, he had played his prep school year at the Hun School in New Jersey. Said, who is that? Didn't look like a guy he was expecting to be in the room. Ryder Kush, bright future. 35-10 after the extra point by Hardin.
Temple is rolling on offense. 5 touchdown passes on the day for Evan Simon. And he likes throwing to his tight ends. The true freshman, Ryder Kush, with the touchdown.
Temple took a turnover in the end zone and then drove 13 plays and 80 yards in just over 7 minutes to extend the lead to 35-10. It appeared that UMass was warming up their backup quarterback, Grant Jordan. We'll have to see if he comes out with the offense on the next drive. Ready to kick it away are the Temple Owls. Fair catch called for and made. We'll start it at the 25-yard line. We will step aside again. Temple with a 35-10 lead. UMass trying to start the long road back with 12 and a half to go. It looks like it will be Brandon Rose to stay in there at quarterback for UMass. They want to get him some experience too. I mean, he's only played basically one full game in his career last year at Utah.
And I don't think he's played poorly. He's 20 of 31, 183, and an interception. And UMass has moved the ball pretty well. They just haven't been able to finish drives. Temple had the goal line stand when UMass had first and goal from the 3 in the first half, and then Rose threw the interception in the end zone on the previous drive. And if they get points there, this is a closer ball game.
UMass down 4 scores with about 12 and a half minutes to go, and the Minutemen looking to get something going on offense here with junior transfer Brandon Rose at quarterback. A couple of turnovers have been key, as they always are. His coach said that would be a key factor in the game, and it almost always is. Rose with an interception and a fumble today. He'll throw into the flat. It's incomplete. It'll be second down.
Joe Harasimiak talked about his keys coming into this game, which could be key to any game this year for UMass: turnovers, explosive plays, and penalties. UMass has 2 turnovers. Temple has 0. Temple has beaten UMass in terms of explosive plays, and in terms of penalties, they're pretty even.
Yeah, I think, as you said, if Temple goes on to win this game, it won't be a mystery why. It'll be fairly easy to diagnose a couple plays, a couple turnovers that were really why Temple was able to win the game. Rose back to pass. Throws to Gibson across the middle. Swarmed under by 3 or 4 Temple tacklers. And it'll set up a third down.
Jaquan Gibson really racking up the catches today, number 12 for him, and had 23 catches on the season last year.
caught out in the flat, fighting towards the first down marker. Good second effort there. And it is enough for a first down by Donnie Gray. First time we've called his name today, a transfer from Northwestern.
Gray, a guy that offensive coordinator Mike Pajakian is really high on. They were together at Northwestern. Gray spent 4 years there. He says he's a really intelligent guy, great physical attributes, had a torn ACL that really derailed his career at Northwestern. They're excited about his potential this year.
Rose, a lot of time. Throws it into traffic, incomplete, intended for Reese Adkins.
At Temple just really getting into a two-safety defense, dropping their safeties deep, trying to cap off any deep routes and making Rose continue to hit those underneath throws and just dink and dunk it down the field.
Second and 10 here for the Minutemen. Pressure off the edge. It's a screen pass. It's caught, but snuffed out beautifully by the Temple defense. Number 98, Joseph Ozine, tracked it down from behind.
Temple has done a good job with their pursuit on the defensive line today. Any of those short passes, they've been able to run them down pretty quick and not let them turn into big gains.
35-10, UMass faces a 3rd and long here, with under 11 minutes left to go. Pressure's on again. Rose flushed out of the pocket, throws it into traffic. It's incomplete. Broken up by Jalen Castleberry, who was shaken up earlier in the game. The PBU there.
A great coverage there by Castleberry. Broke on it pretty quick. Got the hand in there, knocked it down, and he's a guy that started his career at Division II Tiffin University, was academically ineligible after his freshman year, and really got things turned around in the classroom when he walked on at Youngstown State and getting an opportunity here at the FBS level with Temple.
Have to go for it here on 4th down and 10. Temple brings 4. Pressure's on. Rose gets away. Hit as he throws, it's incomplete. It'll be a turnover on downs as the pass rush is getting home for Temple.
Yeah, Temple does a great job of flushing Rose out of the pocket, and then the linebackers close on him and break it up. Temple's just got to run out these final 10 minutes of clock.
35-10, Temple seems to be on its way to a season-opening victory over UMass with just over 10 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
Temple has really taken over this game after the first quarter. UMass was up 10-7 after one, and the Owls have taken over. Their pass rush has been good in pressuring Brandon Rose, and their offense has been outstanding.
We're looking at the Temple radio broadcast, and we've talked about some of the great players who've played for these schools. On the right is the play-by-play man, Kevin Kopp, and I know it's a little hard to see him, but on the left is arguably the greatest Temple Owl ever, Paul Palmer. He finished second in the Heisman Trophy voting back in 1986. He's in the College Football Hall of Fame. He's their radio analyst now. The winner that year was Miami quarterback Vinny Testaverde when Palmer finished second. Third place, Michigan quarterback Jim Harbaugh.
That's pretty good.
Some good company right there.
Pretty good company for sure.
Palmer ran for almost 5,000 yards in his career. His beloved Owls have a 25-point lead as Simon will hand it off over the right side for a short gain.
Temple really just looking to protect the football here, take down as much clock as they can. They're a program that wants to have some toughness and be able to run the football anyway, so this is a good time to be able to work on that mentality.
There is a UMass player injured on the field. Up quickly, it's number 0, Darion Craig, a player who is described as the spirit of this defense. Temple will resume its drive, and they'll want to keep the clock running with just over 10 minutes to go. Evan Simon still in there. I want to tell you about Evan Simon's jersey number right after this play. It's significant in Temple football, and we'll get to that right after this play as Simon will start the play on second down. Handoff for Ducker. And he's stopped just shy of the 25-yard line. Single-digit numbers are very important in Temple football. Al Golden started it back in 2009. They give out the single-digit numbers to guys who are Temple tough, who represent everything it means to be a Temple Owl on and off the field. This year there were 5 of them. Dante Atten, the punter, was the first specialist ever to get a single-digit number. Colin Chase, a transfer, Alan Hay, Sekou Kroma, and Evan Simon. It's the highest honor a Temple football player can get.
And these were voted on by the players and then confirmed by the coaches and the rest of the staff.
A throw into the flat, and it's going to be a first down for Koosh. And Coach Keeler inherited this sort of tradition. Al Golden started it about 15 years ago. But he said one of the things he talked to his leadership council about was they thought it had become kind of political, sort of a popularity contest. And he put an end to that. He said, I'm talking to the training staff, I'm talking to the medical folks, I'm talking to the academic folks, I'm talking to the cafeteria workers. Who are the guys who exemplify what it means to be Temple tough?
Yeah, Coach Keeler really wanted to make sure that it was about the guys that are truly tough on the field, but also off the field, that take care of their business in the classroom, that are good people, and that help out in the community as well.
And he said it is possible that they will add more single-digit players later in the season. Ducker up the middle on a fresh set of downs for the Owls, inside the 15.
And I thought it was cool, he called them battlefield promotions, right? He said we may see a few battlefield promotions where a few guys could earn a single digit later in the year.
Some guys who would certainly be proud of these Temple Owls. We mentioned Paul Palmer, Joe Klecko, longtime defensive lineman with the Jets, a Pro Football Hall of Famer as a Temple grad. Probably their best player in the NFL right now is Hassan Reddick, a defensive lineman who plays for Tampa now, a first-round pick 8 years ago. And in Tampa, he plays for Todd Bowles, who is a Temple grad as well. So set up a third down.
Well, 3rd and long for Temple. I don't think you see him put the ball in the air here with a 25-point lead. 7:30 to go. They're really just looking to drain some clock. A field goal's just fine. I think you run the football, and if you break a run, good. If you don't, you'll take the points and keep draining the clock.
Halfway through this 4th quarter. Took Temple about 4.5 hours to bus up here yesterday afternoon. It's going to be a happy bus ride on the way back to Philly tonight. Simon hit as he throws, hit hard. What a catch. Colin Chase goes up and gets it inside the 5.
Well, the Owls decide to go to the air, and Colin Chase doing what he does best, and he is so tough at the catch point, strong hands. He goes up in the air with TJ McGee all over him and rips that ball down. Good accurate throw from Evan Simon as he takes a shot, and Chase with the strength at the catch point.
First and goal from the 2 with under 7 minutes to go. Play action, Simon looking into the end zone, throws into the corner, incomplete.
It's interesting when Temple has gone to the I formation a couple times down here on the goal line, Jay Ducker has been the fullback. That's their #1 guy at running back. And when Tyler Walker, the offensive coordinator, was at Montana State, they had some actual fullbacks, guys that they recruited to be fullbacks. But he likes going to that I formation. They're using Jay Ducker at that fullback spot. He's about 210 pounds, not quite fullback size, but he gives you that speed where you can get those play action passes and get him in the flat. They tried to do that there, but he got covered.
Montana State was running for about 350 yards a game last year, all the way to the FCS title game. So Tyler Walker knows what he's doing there. Awkward snap, Simon keeps, throws, caught for a touchdown. Career high 6 touchdown pass, this one to Ryder Kush.
Man, the tight ends getting in the action today. 4 touchdowns by Temple tight ends, 2 for Clark, 2 for Kutch.
Penalties declined.
There was a UMass penalty, it's declined. It's now 41-10.
And how about Evan Simon today? 248 passing yards and 6 touchdowns. Came into the game in a battle for the starting quarterback job with Giovanni McCoy. And Simon really standing out today.
6 touchdowns, a career high. Had 20 in his entire career coming into this game. High snap. Kick is good. Not the prettiest thing Carl Harden's ever done, but it counts. 42-10. Temple rolling here. They were down 7-0 in this game.
That's been all Owls since then. 6 touchdown passes for Evan Simon, 4 of them to tight ends, 2 of them to the true freshman Ryder Kutch. 42-10 Owls.
Temple leading UMass 42-10 here in the latter portion of the 4th quarter. We talked about Temple head coach Casey Keeler. We've sung his praises today as his team gets ready to kick off. You and I do these games, and we talk to so many coaches, and you know, honestly, some of them are just kind of routine conversations. They're, you know, talking in cliches, and you know, they're useful, but they're not super noteworthy. We talked to Casey Keeler for about half an hour I think on Tuesday. I could have talked to him for another hour and a half. He had so many stories; it was unbelievable.
I think he would have kept going too. If, he was enjoying it, and he worked in TV at a time too when he's between jobs between Delaware and Sam Houston. He did some analyst work and worked at NFL Films too with Ron Jaworski.
And his team well on its way to a big win here on the road, as the kick will be taken for a fair catch. And you know, our conversation with him covered the gamut of his coaching career all the way to his musical taste. He loves Bruce Springsteen. He gets them to play that at practice sometimes. But KC and the Sunshine Band. So his name, Casey Keeler, Kurt Charles Keeler. But he said, I heard in your press conference you like Casey and the Sunshine Band. He said he's got a couple favorites, Boogeyman, and I know the one you dance to at the weddings, Shake Your Booty.
Shake, shake, shake. Yeah, he loves it. He gets the Temple Band to play it as much as he possibly can. He says he wants to hear that at the home games.
And they're home next week. They should win this game, obviously, today. They're home next week against Howard, an FCS school. Could start 2-0. Still got to go out and win the game. But how about their Week 3 opponent? There's a cliffhanger as backup quarterback is in for UMass. In Week 3, the Temple Owls will welcome in the Oklahoma Sooners to Lincoln Financial Field on ESPN2, September 13th, noon start.
Yeah, pretty big deal for Temple to get Oklahoma to come to their building. I mean, typically it goes the other way around, but they worked out a 2-for-1 deal where they go to Norman a couple of times, and the Sooners come to Philly in a couple of weeks.
Then another Power 4 opponent at Georgia Tech. They look good in beating Colorado last night. That's September 20th. They open American Conference play against UTSA, Texas San Antonio, on October the 4th. In a quarterback now, Grant Jordan, a transfer from Yale. He throws it far side. It is caught for a short gain. Grant Jordan, a fifth-year grad student, played 4 years at Yale. Had a good year last year, 66% completion percentage, 22 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 5 rushing touchdowns as well. He was honorable mention all Ivy League.
And UMass had a quarterback battle, 3-man quarterback battle going for a while in off-season camp. They had Brandon Rose, Grant Jordan, and the redshirt freshman A.J. Hairston all battling it out. But a couple of weeks ago, they went ahead and named Rose the starter.
So Jordan getting a chance to play here late in the game with 5 minutes to go. Throws it near side. It is caught. And short of the first down is Kenyon Massey, a redshirt freshman receiver. And UMass will punt.
UMass has a similar schedule set up to what Temple has. They go with an FCS team next week in Bryant, and then 2 Power 4 opponents for them with Iowa and Missouri. So difficult road ahead for the Minutemen after next week, where they believe they should get a win against Bryant.
And the return of the MAC here to McGurk Stadium, Western Michigan, October 4th in the MAC opener. Of course, MACtion really takes effect in November when we start playing on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. We'll see how UMass fares in the MAC as Keegan Andrews, beautiful punt, fair catch at the 16-yard line.
I could see Brandon Rose becoming a star of MACtion. One of those fiery quarterbacks that shows a lot of emotion, raises the intensity level of his team, can make some plays with his legs and his arm. He could be a guy in one of those 45-42 MACtion type of games that the country falls in love with if UMass gets it rolling there in conference play.
And the score's not going to look good. You're going to look at the score, you're going to say 42-10. Some people might say same old UMass. I think the Minutemen have some definite positives they can build on from today's game.
I think they do. I mean, those couple of goal line situations where they ended up with 0 points, that could have changed the game there. The couple of turnovers that have hurt the Minutemen, but I think this is an improved roster and improved coaching staff from last year, and you could see some different results later on down the line as they start to get into the season.
McCoy pulls it, throws it out into the flat. There is a flag down on the far side of the field. The catch is made by Daniel Evert, a backup tight end from Germany.
They've got a lot of international flair in that tight end room from Temple. You got Peter Clark from England, Evert from Germany. You got Kutch from Canada.
Penalty on UMass will cost them 5 yards. Again, UMass led this game 10-7 at the end of the first quarter. 35 unanswered by Temple to take total control with 4 minutes left to go in the game.
And it really all started with that fumble. UMass was rolling on offense. They were moving the ball down the field. Brandon Rose got upended. He was up in the air, and Caton Supernaut made a great play for the Owls to knock the football out. And Temple took advantage and took over the momentum of the game from that point forward.
Clock running with 3.5 to go. And running it up the middle for a short gain is Hunter Smith. I believe the first time we've called his name today, there was Joquez Smith earlier. That's Hunter Smith's first carry, a transfer from Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah, it's good to see Hunter Smith back on the field. He led the Warhawks in rushing back in 2023, and then last season, the final scrimmage of fall camp, he tore the PCL ligament in his knee, missed the entire 2024 season at Louisiana Monroe, transfers here to Temple, and good to see him getting back on the field in his senior year.
2nd and a yard, and it's another handoff for Smith. That could take us to the 2-minute timeout, and it will. By about 1 second on the play clock and the game clock.
Temple just looking to run it out here. 32-point lead. Fantastic day offensively for the Owls. And Evan Simon with 6 touchdown passes, 4 of them to tight ends. They ran the football well too, averaging 5.2 yards a carry.
Do not believe, and they won't run a play here. It'll take us to the 2-minute timeout. Temple is going to snap a 20-game road losing streak and improve to 1-0. The final 2 minutes are coming up. Casey Keeler and his Sunshine Band, the Temple Owls, 42-10 coming down the stretch. We take a look at the preseason poll in the American. There are 14 teams. Temple was picked towards the bottom. Tulane, Navy, and Memphis, the top 3. You'll see Florida Atlantic next week, but South Florida, big win to start the season.
Oh yeah, the Bulls looked like a true college football playoff contender. What they did to Boise State, who was the favorite to be the group of 5 representative in the college football playoff, South Florida whooped them up. The Bulls looking like a top contender in the American. Tulane has looked really good early in the season as well, with Jake Retzlaff, the transfer from BYU, at quarterback.
As McCoy picks up the first down, and it should be a series of kneel downs to end the game here. So Temple will break a 20-game road losing streak. They have not won a road game of any kind since September of 2021, 4 years ago when they beat Akron. On the other side, UMass will lose its 13th consecutive game against an FBS school. That is the 3rd longest streak in the country, behind Kent State and Southern Miss. Looks like Temple is still running normal plays here with 90 seconds to go. Getting McCoy some experience running the offense as they run it up the middle for a gain of about 6. It's Hunter Smith.
Yeah, UMass still has all 3 timeouts, so I guess Temple just deciding to run a few plays. And
well, you know,
let some of the backups
getting
get
McCoy
some work.
experience too, definitely. You know, we talked to Casey Keeler. He said, you know, he was very coy about the 2 quarterback situation. He said, I've had this situation before at Delaware when he was the head coach back in 2006. Ryan Carty was the presumed starter. Ryan Carty's now the head coach at Delaware. He lost out to Joe Flacco, future Super Bowl MVP.
And Evan Simon looked great today, but there may be some games this year where they need Giovanni McCoy. And especially the 2 quarterback formation that Tyler Walker used a lot at Montana State. We saw it once today. That could be something effective for McCoy down the line. But man, did Temple look good today.
And he gets the water bath. Casey Keeler starting his new job at Temple with a big win on the road, 42-10. And you can see how excited the players are there. One of those single-digit guys, Sekou Chroma, congratulating him. Ends a 20-game road losing streak, the longest in FBS. And Casey Keeler and the Temple Owls move to 1-0. Joe Harrisimiak and the UMass Minutemen fall to 0-1.
A great start to Casey Keeler's tenure at Temple as he tries to turn this thing around. The Owls got down early, and he talked about it all week long. How do we respond to adversity? Well, Temple responded really well. They stepped up and finished it off with a 42-10 win. Evan Simon earning the start at quarterback, goes 19-25 for 248 and 6 touchdowns. And this new offense, coordinated by Tyler Walker, really looked explosive today for the Temple Owls.
Those 6 touchdowns tied a school record that was set back in 2008. Evan Simon, 6 touchdown passes. Temple closes the game on a 35-0 run. They were down 10-7 at the end of the first quarter. That will do it from here in Amherst. Temple improves to 1-0. They host Howard at Lincoln Financial Field next week. UMass falls to 0-1. They host Bryant, 3:30 start here at McGurk. For analyst Patrick Murray, enjoyed it. Stat man extraordinaire Tim Farrell, Robert Lee saying so long from Amherst, Massachusetts. Final score, Temple 42, UMass 10. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.